Chapter 1081. There were also a few alchemists who followed along, and all of them were glaring at Chen Shang. There were also a few alchemists who followed along, and all of them were glaring at Chen Shang. Why did you eat it? A Dan King said coldly, his old face full of anger. If I don't eat this thing soon, he will run away. This is my experience, don't you know what this is? Chen Shang asked with a look of disdain. There were many experienced and knowledgeable old fellows here, but none of them could recognize this thing. Since Chen Shang could catch this stalk of mysterious grass from so many weeds, it must be a way to differentiate them. Grasswood spirit is another type of Kaomu heavenly Dan. If you get it, you really need to swallow it down immediately, or else this thing will run really fast. The one who spoke was Ji Meixian. She had previously told him that Chen Shang had eaten the Kaomu heavenly Dan. It's actually grasswood spirit. It's said that people who obtain Kaomu heavenly Dan and grasswood spirit can obtain the approval of the earth, and can comprehend the power of the earth. What a pity, this kind of good thing was actually eaten by such a fellow. This made everyone want to hack Chen Shang into 8 pieces and then eat his flesh. Everyone continued to rush, their killing intent towards Chen Shang becoming more and more intense, but Chen Shang ignored them, and continued to run as he allowed his grasswood spirit to fuse with the Kaomu heavenly Dan. However, during the process of fusing, the grasswood spirit would release a large amount of pure immortal energy. Chen Shang circulated his profound arts, refined all of this immortal energy, and condensed it into the heaven pellet in his 5-beast statues. There's really a lot of immortal chi. Once I completely absorb it, I'll be one step closer to transcending the 5 nirvana tribulations. Chen Shang was extremely surprised. Right now, his grasswood spirit and Kaomu heavenly Dan had not been merged yet, so he did not know what kind of effect it would have after being merged. It made Chen Shang want to laugh, but this group of people continued to play around for 2 or 3 days before giving up. At this moment, everyone was extremely jealous of this, Dongfang Lingyun, as he was actually able to obtain such a good item, but everyone knew that this person did not have long to live. As long as they finished using it, they could kill him. There are many people nearby who are very strong. It seems they all know how to use the power of chaos. Long Shui suddenly warned. Previously, the Super Yuan sect leader had said that they had left the area where the ferocious beasts resided, but that did not mean that this place was safe. As expected, there were quite a number of people lying in ambush nearby. Seeing the black figures leap over, the experts that had been on guard all took action, unleashing terrifying energies that struck at the black figures that had ambushed them. All of a sudden, all kinds of light rays flashed, and various types of energy auras howled, blowing over the huge trees and ruining the ground. It's the primal chaos berserker tribe. Super Yuan sect leader's voice was filled with surprise. He never thought that such a thing would appear here. However, Chen Shang could see that all of these people had very long hair on their bodies, and had very dense chaotic force in their bodies. In addition, their bodies were also very banded, and Chen Shang saw that many of the chaotic berserkers that were attacked only flew out with no injuries. These fellows with chaotic force are too fierce, they can actually make their own bodies become so strong. Chen Shang wanted to understand how this power of primal chaos came about. Previously, Lin Zai said that only strong people could have the power of primal chaos, and in the entire chaotic mountain, only a few could do it. There were also beasts and barbarians of primal chaos among them. He didn't know why any of these things existed in the world. At this moment, even the Prince Imperial Dragon had made their move. When the other young men saw this, they did not want to be outdone and started attacking the chaos barbarians. Chen Shang did not attack. He stood there and observed carefully. The strongest attacking people were Super Yuan sect leader. He could send them flying with a single palm, and the 3 Horns Dragon King was also very powerful. As long as they approached his tribe, they would all be tightly grabbed by their black dragon claws. Ah, why can't I use the innate chi? Quote, I can't use it either. Everyone suddenly started shouting. The first to shout were all the young people, and then it was the group of old men's turn. Not good, it's the drunk god sent, everyone hold your breath. Super Yuan sect leader was also a lot weaker. He could only send 2 or 3 primal chaos barbarians flying with a single palm strike. One of the super old poisonous. An old man shouted in fear. At this time, a black figure pounced over and smashed his head apart with a single punch. Its face was similar to that of a gorilla, and it was incredibly powerful. The old man's head was smashed by a punch, and then it was torn apart by that chaos barbarian. The scene was extremely bloody. Everyone run. Super Yuan sect leader picked up his grandson, and used his fastest speed to throw him aside, but actually ignored the rest of them. At this moment, the ancient powers experts had much of their energy drugged. They didn't have much of their power to use, but they could still use it to escape. They were all dragging a few youngsters with them. At this moment, some of the weaker ones or those unlucky ones were hit by the Chaos Barbarians that were flying towards them at an extremely fast speed. Those Chaos Barbarians could use the violent power of chaos and make a huge hole in their bodies with a single punch, then their corpses would be torn apart and eaten. Chen Shang told Long Shui to follow the group of people, and he ran towards the direction where the primal Chaos Barbarians were pouncing. The magical corruption gas of the super old poison could not do anything to him, so these drunk god scent were naturally useless as well. The reason why he ran towards the lair of the primal Chaos Barbarian was to find the source of those drunk god scent. This was a good opportunity to call the super old poison. How could he let it go? Chen Shang had already used the Heaven Tour method to observe his front and discovered that someone was burning some white flowers. Those flowers were only the size of a palm and as white as snow. They were extremely beautiful. After Chen Shang told Bai Yuyu and the others, Bai Yuyu said with certainty, it must be the drunk god flower. This drunk god scent was refined from the drunk god flower, as you have seen just now. Even those who are stronger would be in trouble. This belongs to the super old poison, so it is prohibited to use it. If anyone discovers it, they will definitely be hunted down. Quote, I didn't expect to be here. I really don't know how I got here. Bai Yuyu's older sister was a poison expert, so she knew about it. Chapter 1082. Although the drunk god scent was a super old poison, the process of producing it was different from the magical corruption gas. Magical corruption gas required a large amount of dead bodies, and it was only produced by chance, and the drunk god scent was produced from a type of flower. White drunk god flower were piled on the ground. A group of primal chaos barbarians that were relatively close to humans were burning these drunk god flower with torches. It seemed that none of them were affected by the poisonous gas. Chen Shang quietly walked to the side of one of the piles, grabbed an unlit one and placed it into the ring. As long as it was not burnt, the drunk god scent would not be in danger, and they were extremely beautiful. As long as there was one, he could create a lot of them. At this time, he started to follow the group, and as soon as the drunk god scent appeared, many people would die, as many people were secretly cursing the Super Yuan sect leader for running so fast. In their eyes, this group of primal chaos barbarians were much more terrifying than the previous ones. What was most unbelievable was that even the three-horns dragon king had no way out with this poison. This poisonous dragon is too weak, even super old poison are afraid. Chen Shang thought. At this time, everyone was still in a state of shock, as they were trying to remove the remaining poison aura in their bodies, and those youths had to wait for their seniors to finish expelling the poison with the help of their seniors. Those with relatively weaker strength were now mostly completely poisoned, and the innate chi in their bodies could not be used. After running frantically for their lives, their bodies were completely powerless and their bodies were weak as they sat there, easily able to kill them. In order to not attract too much attention, Chen Shang pretended to be poisoned and was trying to force the poison out of his body. However, in reality, he had obtained the grasswood spirit from refining the poison, so when the audience saw that he was still able to escape alive, they all secretly rejoiced. Super Yuan sect leader, do you know the origin of these primal chaos barbarians? They actually possess such a terrifying thing like drunk god scent. If we were to be used on a large scale by them, the consequences would be unimaginable, or if it was obtained by some other vicious person, then it would be even more dangerous. I think we should eliminate them. The Prince Imperial Dragon said. Chen Shang sneered in his heart. He felt that the current Prince Imperial Dragon and these big shots of the powerhouses would definitely want those drunk god flower, but they did not have the guts to take it now. Super Yuan sect leader shook his head. I have always come alone in the past. When I met them, I tried my best not to clash with them. It's just that this time, there are too many of us and we even fought against them. That's why they use this thing. The primal chaos barbarians are not as simple as that. They only attack the ones with the lowest status among us. The strongest ones among them are roughly the same size as us. Quote. Chen Shang had also seen those people just now. They were indeed different from the barbarians of primal chaos. Now, everyone could tell from the expression of the Super Yuan sect leader that those people were not to be trifled with. Wait until we find those items. If we increase our strength by a lot, we can discuss further. Leader Jin Yang said. That's right. The Primal Chaos Berserker tribe possesses such a dangerous item. We can't let them use it to commit crimes everywhere. Chen Shang suddenly felt extremely disgusted. If that group of Primal Chaos barbarians had sent those drunk god flower over, this group of decent-looking fellows might have already fought over them. He had already obtained a drunk god flower, and when he had time, he would personally use the creation divine liquid to study more. This could not be done for Su Meiyao and Bai Yu, as he was worried that he would be poisoned by these two women. He had mastered two of the more powerful super old poison-s. He felt that these drunk god scent were not as powerful as the magical corruption gas, but rather, they were capable of killing. If you can refine the drunk god flower into powder and sprinkle it onto people's bodies, it will spread even faster. This poisonous gas will only be produced by simply burning it. To create an incredible poison, one has to refine the best thing in it through pill forging. Bai Yu had a certain understanding of poison concocting. If it's powdered, once it's inhaled a little, the poison would become even more severe than the poisonous gas. It should be able to cause a strong person to instantly lose control of the innate qi. Bai Yu's words made Chen Shang restless. He couldn't wait to refine a bunch of drunk god scent-s and use the experts here as experiments. Chen Shang observed over these people and discovered that Prince Imperial Dragon was the fastest to recover. He seemed to have some kind of miracle medicine and Ji Meixian was completely fine. Little maid, are you all right? Even so, Chen Shang still asked with concern. Ji Meixian had once been a Yuyi immortal fairy above the heaven realm, and she was so beautiful as well. In the future, she would definitely become a famous ranker once again. It's fine, what about you? Where are you? Ji Meixian responded as she followed the thread of thought in her mind. She did not dare to look around, as she was afraid that it might arouse suspicion. Of course I'm fine, you have to be careful. There might be a lot of dangers along the way. Furthermore, you have to stay far away from that Prince Imperial Dragon. This guy is always staring at you. Chen Shang said. I have the blood of the undying bird and the golden-winged great pung in my body. The Dragon Clan's guys can easily sense it. I'll be careful of this. After confirming that everyone had recovered, they continued on their way. When they arrived, there were nearly 200 people, but now, there were less than 100. They had all lost some of the stronger elders, and some of the older forces had even lost some of their juniors, causing the heavyweights to be in a bad mood. Although they had encountered extremely powerful items like the Primal Chaos Savage Tribe and the Primal Chaos Savage Beast, they were certain that the treasures hidden in the depths of the cave were extremely powerful. Back then, when they were on the road, Chen Shang had heard from the Super Yuan sect leader that a lot of stones had fallen from the Primal Chaos realm. Many of the huge mountains were dropped from the Primal Chaos realm, but only one of them was found to be very special. Later on it turned into a mountain. Many people had investigated it and found many mysterious places within, hence this place which had been struck by many stones from the Primal Chaos realm was named the Chaotic Mountain. The traitor who betrayed the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord and an old patriarch of the Imperial Dragon race came together to this place. They gathered some of the East Hidden Province into the disappeared Chaotic Mountain and then formed it into a map. Chen Shang suspected that the ancestor of the Super Yuan Mountain was also one of the traitors. The Imperial Dragon race had also helped these people to topple the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord. Super Yuan sect leader, what are the uses of those Chaos Fire token? How did you get it? The fact that the Prince Imperial Dragon did not know about the Chaos Fire token caused Chen Shang to be extremely surprised. If he wanted the Chaos Fire token to recognize him as its master, then he had to have dragon blood. Chapter 1083. Super Yuan sect leader did not answer immediately. It was obvious that he knew a little, but he could not tell this Prince Imperial Dragon. What is the relationship between the Chaos Fire token and the missing Chaotic Mountain? The Prince Imperial Dragon asked. The people here all knew that Chen Shang had obtained all 7 Chaos Fire tokens many years ago. Before that, these Chaos Fire tokens had all been divided among the various big shots in the Chaotic Mountain. At this moment, everyone was very concerned about this Chaos Fire token, because it was surprisingly fast with the Chaos Fire token being gathered by Chen Shang, and Chen Shang was their great enemy. It had to be known that Chen Shang had already obtained a dragon vein in DTN. He was young but his strength was extremely strong, similar to that of the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord back then. Since all of you have enmity with Chen Shang, then I will tell you all this. But you must remember, you must definitely not tell Chen Shang. Super Yuan sect leader thought about it again and decided to tell the rest. Along the way, Chen Shang also scolded Chen Shang when he was chatting with others while pretending to be Dongfang Lingyun, so that everyone here knew the grudge between him and Chen Shang. As such, the Super Yuan sect leader didn't mind if he heard about it, not to mention that once he was used, it would be his death date. Chen Shang, this little bastard, once I go to DTN, I will definitely tear off his old nest. Originally, he had been sleeping soundly in the poison dragon's pearl. If he had absorbed the entire dragon's pearl's power, he would have been even stronger, but this had been completely destroyed by Chen Shang. If we return successfully, his so-called dragon subduing school would be the end of it. Prince Imperial Dragon's eyes flashed. The 3 words, dragon subduing school, made him feel extremely unhappy. It was clear that he was going against him, Imperial Dragon race. Being hated so deeply by so many powerful warriors, Chen Shang was feeling proud. Not everyone could do such a thing. The Super Yuan sect leader said, the Chaos Fire token itself was made from divine iron, moreover, it came from the mysterious primal chaos world. There were a total of 7 of them, and when the 7 enormous rainbow stones descended, the Chaos Fire token was inside those rainbow stones. At that time, the experts of the Primal Chaos clan had to spend several hundred years to obtain the Chaos Fire token from these stones. After many wars, these S have changed many masters. Chaos Fire token S are regarded as holy objects of our Primal Chaos clan's gods. Although we cannot fuse with these Chaos Fire token S, they can still play a role as a symbol of status. Super Yuan sect leader stopped and let out a long sigh. He stared at Prince Imperial Dragon and said, to be honest, these 7 Chaos Fire tokens should have been given to Dragon Emperor S, because only with dragon blood can they integrate them. How Chen Shang was able to fuse a Chaos Fire token, I have never been able to understand. Quote, he had previously visited the Immortal Poisoning Devil Forest once, and the Poisonous Dragon King died there. He might have soaked the blood of the Poisonous Dragon King within, which was why a trace of dragon blood was left in his body. 3 Horns Dragon King frowned. For this kid to be able to stay in Immortal Poisoning Devil Forest so easily, he must have the blood of the Poison Dragon King in his body. Prince Imperial Dragon's face became even more gloomy, because he felt that this object belonged to him in the first place. Super Yuan sect leader, then what is the use of gathering all 7 Chaos Fire token? One of them asked. According to the legends, there are 2 uses for gathering 7 Chaos Fire token. The first one is to open a passage to the Primal Chaos realm, but that requires a very powerful force. It requires strength at least at the level of 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord or Dragon Emperor. Second, I can condense a fire seed of Primal Chaos in my body, and cultivate a fire of chaos, but my body needs to be extremely strong, otherwise I won't be able to withstand the fire seed of Primal Chaos. Quote. The Super Yuan sect leader patted on Prince Imperial Dragon's shoulder and comforted him. This is yours to begin with, there will be a chance to take it back. Everyone understood Prince Imperial Dragon's feelings at this moment. No matter how they looked at it, this Chaos Fire token was tailor-made for these holy dragons. It needed dragon blood and a strong body, as well as the Dragon Emperor's strength. Long Shui scoffed. Bullshit, it should be my Dragon Emperor's, but I was generous and rewarded this little scoundrel. Super Yuan sect leader looked at the sky in the distance and took a deep breath. With a serious expression, he said, of course, Chen Shang will probably never be able to open the pathway to the Primal Chaos world, nor will he be able to obtain the fire seed. He, a human, is unable to do that. What I am worried about is that he will use these 7 Chaos Fire token S to summon out the 9 Heaven Devil Palace. Chen Zhang's heart skipped a beat. The 2 uses of Chaos Fire token could be said to be within his expectations, but that 9 Heaven Devil Palace thing was something he did not expect. When 9 Heaven Devil Palace was mentioned, the expressions of many old fellows suddenly changed. Even Ji Meixian was the same. How could it be 9 Heaven Devil Palace? The Chaos Fire token is actually related to the 9 Heaven Devil Palace. The astonishment in Bai Yu's heart at this moment was the same as those people. 9 Heaven Devil Palace, the illusory demon palace, the place where countless powerful immortals and devils died. Because it destroyed the experts of the 9th heaven, it became famous. Su Meiyao's tone carried a trace of fear. When the 9 Heaven Devil Palace appeared, senior sister and I took a glance from afar and was almost attracted by a mysterious power. It said that those who went in that time all died. Bai Yu said, it's all thanks to Jimexian. She was chasing and killing us at that time. If not for her sudden appearance, and brought us back to reality, I'm afraid that we would have already entered the 9-Heaven Devil Palace, and now that we think about it, she is really protecting us. An expert from the Heaven Realm said. Rumor has it that the Yi Immortal Fairy and Old Devil Wuqing all went to the 9-Heaven Devil Palace back then. They were once famous human experts, but none of them escaped, and they could not resist the enticement of the 9-Heaven Devil Palace. Prince Imperial Dragon nodded his head. That's right. Not mentioning the human experts, many of the stronger dragons in Imperial Dragon race have not returned because they went to 9-Heaven Devil Palace. My royal father said that this demon palace can confuse people's mind. No matter how determined you are, as long as you look from afar, you will involuntarily walk towards the demon palace and enter the demon palace. Quote. This is the cemetery of a strong cultivator. Every time 9-Heaven Devil Palace appears, countless famous experts would fall, but I heard that although this 9-Heaven Devil Palace is evil, we can still find the path of God within. Super Yuan sect leader said. So we must kill Chen Shang. If he can summon this 9-Heaven Devil Palace, we will be in danger. Everyone, please do not leak it out. Quote. Jimexian was very clear of how strong this 9-Heaven Devil Palace was, so she did not plan to tell Chen Shang, but she knew that Chen Shang was hiding nearby and would definitely hear it. Chapter 1084. They were worried that Chen Shang would bring out the 9-Heaven Devil Palace. When they accidentally saw the Demon Palace again, it would be equivalent to them dying. Little maid, did you talk about that 9-Heaven Devil Palace? How did you die in there? Chen Shang asked. You better not bring out that demon palace. Back then, those two little girls were almost confused. I was the one who woke them up. After I chased them away, I went to 9-Heaven Devil Palace myself. Jimexian warned Chen Shang very seriously. Oh, were you lured in? Chen Shang asked. At first, I could resist the temptation, but then the voice of the demon palace came out and told me that my uncle was inside. He was ruthless devil Venerable, the master of those two little girls. I was looking for him then, so I went, and the closer I got, the more I felt my uncle was inside. After I entered the demon palace, I really saw his figure. As Jimexian said till here, he could not hide the fear in his voice. That must be an illusion. That must be the demon palace trying to confuse your mind. Chen Shang said. That's true. This demon palace is a weakness that specifically seeks out your soul. At the same time, it will stimulate your body to the maximum, causing you to lose your mind and be unable to extricate yourself. If I did not have that divine robe, I would have died inside. At that time, it was my divine robe that released its power to help me escape from the demon palace. Jimexian replied, this is a life-saving talisman that my mother left for me. I don't know how many times she saved me over the years. Of course, the demon palace is a terrifying place for the experts of the heaven realm. The strongest part isn't just that, some of my friends haven't appeared since they entered, it's a place to send those strong warriors to their deaths. If Jimexian wasn't Chen Zhang's slave, she would have definitely warned him like an elder right now, because she knew Chen Shang was a guy that liked to mess around. Jimexian sighed inwardly. She knew that once Chen Shang found out about the use of Chaos Fire Token, he would definitely bring the Demon Palace out in the future. After 10 days of traversing the mountain ridges, the group finally reached the location indicated by the map. However, it was an extremely large lake, and looked like a sea on land. It was very likely that the chaotic mountain was hiding here. If not for this map, I'm afraid we wouldn't even be here. The latter half of our route would be very safe, otherwise it wouldn't be so easy. This is a place that I didn't even dare to enter in the past, but I never thought that there would be such a hidden lake here. Quote. Super Yuan sect leader held up the lake water with both hands and then shouted anxiously, there's poison in the lake. Don't touch it. However, it was already too late. Not only did a few old men touch it, they even licked it. Super Yuan sect leader's palms had already turned purple. He anxiously used his spirit chi to force the poison out, and the purple chi surged out. The few old men were rolling on the ground, their mouths were swelling terrifyingly, with purple-black color. The poison spread extremely quickly. More than 10 experts rushed into the old men's bodies to release the poison out. When the young men saw this, they hurriedly distanced themselves from the huge lake. The water of such a huge lake actually contained poison, but the poison wasn't very strong. Those old men had already recovered their lives. The chaotic mountain is hiding at the bottom of the lake. One of them asked. It should be. The Super Yuan sect leader nodded his head. The poison in this lake must have been deliberately carried out by someone. Take out the stone pieces. Great leaders, Chen Shang and Prince Imperial Dragon all placed their stone pieces on the ground and then combined them together. But this time, it was different from last time. They used the picture on the back, and after combining, they used an octagonal array. Pour your power into these pieces of stone, activate these pieces of stone. The Super Yuan sect leader said. Chen Shang secretly channeled the energy within the heaven pellet, allowing it to flow into his body. After that, he released it from his finger and poured it into the stone piece, causing it to emit a purple glow. The 30 pieces of stone were placed on the ground. They looked very irregular, but after everyone poured their power into them, they originally gave rise to a myriad of multicolored lights, but now they turned into a golden color. The ground trembled slightly. Everyone immediately looked towards the huge lake and saw a pitch-black mountain slowly floating up from the lake. The mountain was very big, occupying the entire lake. When it floated up, it was unknown where the lake water went. When everyone stood underneath the mountain, they felt that the mountain was like a barrier that separated the world from the world. It was so tall that they couldn't see the top, the ends of the mountain. Chen Shang guessed that this chaotic mountain was around half the size of a Chen martial continent. When the chaotic mountain appeared, the black substance suddenly melted, and a burst of bright silver-white light appeared. A burst of ancient qi leaked out, causing people to feel like they were back to the time when chaos first began. When they thought of the seniors who hid this mountain all those years ago, they couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. This was definitely a very huge project, and Chen Shang had already started to be wary of these people. Now, the last thing he wanted to do was to open the door to the inside. Super Yuan sect leader looked around, and after confirming that there was no danger, he brought everyone to the big door. On the mountain wall, there was a very flat area. There were 30 grooves there, and they were placed into the stone pieces, so everyone was sure that it was the entrance. Did these guys really plunder the East Tibet province back then? Chen Shang could not help but become suspicious. I don't think so. The things they looted should be used to maintain the inheritance. You'll know when you go in. Maybe those guys found something inside and couldn't take it back then, so it was temporarily sealed away here. Su Meiyao said. That's possible, because the collapse of DTN was caused by a very strong and mysterious force. If they had such a good item, it would definitely have been taken away by that power. That's why they hid themselves. Bai Yuyu said. Chen Shang activated the Heaven Tour method, observing everyone's expressions, only to see a few youths exchanging glances with the people from other powers, obviously preparing to take action. Aren't these guys afraid of being scolded by the Purple Moon Imperial Land? Although the Purple Moon Imperial Land is currently very weak, the Purple Moon Imperial Land above the Heaven Realm is definitely not weak. But it's not strange. These guys' ancestors and ancestor had betrayed Great Yan Jing for 10 days, so it's normal for them to sell their allies now. Quote. Chen Shang was also preparing himself. He planned to catch these people unprepared. Although he could not kill those old people, it was not a problem to kill a few little ones, who told these people to come here. They were still so dishonest. Chapter 1085. Everyone stood in front of the door and took the chance when Chen Shang wasn't paying attention to them, to look at each other, then took out stone pieces and threw it towards the grooves on the door. At the same time, they channeled energy into the stone pieces, causing them to emit multicolored light, automatically sticking to the grooves. Chen Shang acted as though he was working very hard. That was why he waited until everyone was finished before he threw the stone out. His forehead was covered in sweat, and he looked very tired, causing the young people to sneer in their hearts, because it was easier to succeed this way. The moment the door opened, the young people that followed them would immediately make their move. This was also what the big shots had discussed in secret to see which powers young people were the most powerful. After the purple stone in Chen Zhang's hand flew past, it stuck onto the door, causing it to emit kacha-kacha sounds. It trembled slightly, and a crack appeared in the middle of the mountain wall. At this moment, those young people suddenly made their moves. Tong Tian aristocratic family and the heavenly maiden of the Sheng domain, the grandson of the Super Yuan sect leader, as well as the Prince Imperial Dragon, all held various kinds of weapons in their hands. Little maid, retreat. In that instant, Chen Shang sent a sound transmission to Ji Meixian and then used form displacement shadow, changing the position between him and Super Yuan sect leader's grandson. No one would have thought that by the time everyone managed to react, there were already more than 10 swords stabbing Super Yuan sect leader's precious grandson's body, and Prince Imperial Dragon's dragon claws had even dug out his heart. After the light rays from the door disappeared, the Super Yuan sect leader roared, and smashed towards the group of youths. All of the weapons were shattered, and those who had the power to attack were all severely injured, leaving only the situation in Prince Imperial Dragon a little better. Amongst these youths, only Ji Meixian, who was slightly slower, could survive. This was because when Chen Shang had sent a sound transmission to her, she was already affected, causing the others to be much slower than her. She had thought that Chen Shang had followed them here. Super Yuan sect leader's eyes were completely red. He wanted to kill Chen Shang with one palm right now, but he had to save his grandson. "Where is he?" a big shot shouted. They did not expect Dongfang Lingyun to be so sinister, knowing this kind of method. "Everyone, be careful, this is my Imperial Dragon race's teleportation, he must be Chen Shang." Prince Imperial Dragon had just been injured by the angry Super Yuan sect leader, and there was blood at the corner of his mouth. A cyan light suddenly flashed, and Chen Shang, who was hiding in space, suddenly appeared. Holding an incomparably domineering green dragon demon-slaying broadsword in his hand, he used the Kanglang slash of the dragon-slaying 7-killing slash, smashing towards Prince Imperial Dragon like a tidal wave. Sensing the danger approach him, he dodged it abruptly. However, Chen Zhang's blade stroke was extremely fast, so even though Prince Imperial Dragon dodged it, one of his arms was still chopped off by Chen Shang. "Little bastard!" Seeing Chen Shang appear, the Three-Horns Dragon King turned one of his arms into a gigantic purplish-black dragon claw and swiped towards Chen Shang. Chen Shang stepped on the shrinking step, dodging it like lightning. In the blink of an eye he was already inside the door. Prince Imperial Dragon looked at the ground where the Three-Horns Dragon King had smashed his dragon claw. His entire body was trembling in anger and the dragon blood on his severed arm was flowing non-stop. "Chen Shang, hurry and get out of here!" Prince Imperial Dragon glared at the door that Chen Shang had disappeared into. "Take care of him, I will go and get Chen Zhang's head back." Super Yuan sect leader's voice was extremely cold, then he rushed towards the big door. The elders that were left behind by the big heads, those who didn't have any elders' power, would be entrusted to the elders of the other powers, as they chased after Chen Shang. Ji Meixian did not go in, she praised Chen Zhang's hand endlessly. Originally, these powers wanted to let their own juniors shine, but they did not expect that in the end, they would almost cause the grandson of Super Yuan sect leader to die from serious injuries. Prince Imperial Dragon had also lost an arm, and the juniors of other forces were heavily injured. Prince Imperial Dragon recovered quite a bit after he ate the Immortal pellet, and his severed arm also quickly grew back. He was the son of Dragon Emperor, so he didn't accept any Immortal pellets at all. When he was almost recovered, he ran through the door. After Chen Shang entered the gate, he arrived at a wide and huge passage. On the stone walls on both sides of the passage, there were many doors, and each door was 10 meters in front of and behind the other. He quickly arrived at the end of the passageway and discovered that it was also a door of the same size. At this time, there were already people chasing after him. When the others came in and discovered that there were so many doors, they could not help but have a headache, because they did not know that Chen Shang had walked through that door, and furthermore, did not know that these doors were the right one. "Super Yuan sect leader, what happened just now?" "There's no need to mention it, it's already past, now we have to stop Chen Shang." Super Yuan sect leader clenched his fists. Furthermore, on the way here, they had been protecting Chen Shang. They did not expect that at the last moment, they would actually be ruthlessly schemed against by Chen Shang. They suddenly felt that they were all idiots. Especially the secrets of the Chaos Fire token, they had all been found out by Chen Shang, and it was the Super Yuan sect leader herself who had told Chen Shang all of it. Chen Shang already knows the Chaos Fire token's secret. The Jinyang leader sighed. "We just need to kill him. We can't let him leave this chaotic mountain or us," the Super Yuan sect leader said. At this point in time, everyone already understood that Chen Shang had already killed the Purple Moon Imperial Land's men and obtained the stone piece. After that, he would pretend to be one of the Purple Moon Imperial Land's men and sneak in with them, arriving at the chaotic mountain with them. This move was indeed very ruthless. If they had not wanted to kill Chen Shang when the door was opened, Chen Shang might even have easily left in the end. "How do we get there now? Chen Shang is very sinister, we better not spread things out." Quote. "That's right, if he still impersonates one of us, then we'll be in trouble. We will use our divine sense to confirm the secret signal. If we enter these doors and accidentally encounter each other, we will use the secret signal to confirm our identity." If we can't find the secret signal, we will immediately act. After the Super Yuan sect leader finished speaking, he sent a sound transmission to everyone and gave them a secret signal before he walked through these doors. Chen Shang walked along a tunnel, rubbing his chin. He laughed. Secret code. I'll find a way to get it. I am a leader of the dragon subduing school. I must kill 1 or 2 old fellows here, or else how can I boast to Yun Xiaodao and the others in the future? Quote. Chapter 1086. Chen Shang started running frantically in the passage, but he quickly discovered that the passage could actually move, which meant that the passage did not have a designated location, but he could not do anything right now, because there were so many doors, so he did not know which one could smoothly lead to the destination. During this half an hour, Chen Shang had not run into any dangers. At this time, he had also slowed down his pace. As he walked and trained, he had to quickly refine the energy that was brought to him by the fusion of the grasswood spirit. He felt that his own energy was the weakest amongst this group of people. It was not enough at all. The 4 walls of the tunnel emitted a silver-white glow, just like the light of the chaotic mountain. Chen Shang didn't know what the others were like, and was a little worried that the protection inside would be taken away. This chaotic mountain was already huge to begin with, so it was normal for the passageway to be very long. However, Chen Shang took his time walking over, and after only a day of walking, he saw a door, which made him immediately rush over. After opening the door, he came to a very spacious stone room. There were no treasures inside, only 4 flat high stone walls. Moreover, the path he took to enter was blocked. How can there be no way out? Chen Shang was running all over the place in this huge stone room, and no matter how he traveled, he could not leave this stone room. This huge stone room was filled with dense immortal energy, but there was no passageway. Chen Shang never thought that the door he chose would actually be like this. He was trapped here. Next, he used the green dragon demon slain broadsword S to perform all sorts of powerful martial arts and madly attack the silver white walls. Not to mention creating a hole, he couldn't even create a single mark. Could it be that I am not one of those traitor powers, and that is why I am trapped here? How long will it take? Chen Shang panicked. He used the green dragon demon slain broadsword to hack at the wall crazily, but to no avail. Just as Chen Shang was about to give up, an aged voice came out. Brat, you're pretty motivated. You're not trapped. Hearing that voice, Chen Shang immediately became spirited and shouted, Who are you? How do I get out? Quote. I am the spirit of this mountain. If you want to leave, you only need to work hard to increase your strength. This is because only half of the people who enter this place can survive. In other words, anyone who enters here will have to fight to the death with one person. Quote. It was actually the mountain spirit of this mountain. Chen Shang was not surprised that this chaotic mountain could give birth to a flash spirit. Then hurry up and let me fight a guy. Chen Shang shouted. No, your strength is too weak. No matter which one you meet, you have no chance of winning, unless you raise your strength to a certain level here, then the spirit arrays here will send one person to fight. Now there's someone fighting, but you have the time formation in this place, so it will not be a problem for you to cultivate for a long time. The mountain spirit said. Why do you have to do this? Weren't the people who built this place in the past the ancestors of the traders? Quote. That's because there was a guy who did something to it later, so as long as someone came in, they would all end up killing each other. But from the looks of it, you don't seem to be the descendant of those traders. How did you get in? The mountain spirit said. It's a long story. Chen Shang sat on the ground. He could only hurry up and raise his strength to fight with this fellow and leave this damned place. Senior mountain spirit, you should know that I am not a bad person. Can you tell me what treasure is hidden here? Well, I'm not too sure either. I only know that there are 30 boxes hidden in the last place. I don't know what's in each box. In short, those things are all treasures. What he needed to do now was to raise his strength. Chen Shang quickly refined the energy brought by the grasswood spirit and quickly formed the embryo of the 5th heaven pellet from every beast statue. Can Nirvana Doom also be attracted here? If I can't, then it will be difficult for my strength to increase. Chen Shang asked. This is because this is the chaotic mountain, and all of the robbery power absorb the energy of primal chaos. Although this is theoretically possible, I am not too sure what the actual situation will be like. I think I will see it soon. Mountain Spirit said with a smile. The mountain spirit of this mountain did not have a body, but a powerful soul body that was attached to the chaotic mountain. Calming his heart, Chen Shang quickly refined the power brought to him by the grasswood spirit. However, the Grasswood Spirit and the Kaomu Heavenly Dan had not merged. But Chen Zhang's strength was not enough yet. Prince Imperial Dragon should be weaker than me. He is the weakest when he comes here, so you just need to approach him. That means you have to pass through the 6 Nirvana tribulations before you can have the same strength as Prince Imperial Dragon. Long Shui said. The reason why Chen Shang was able to cut off Prince Imperial Dragon's arm before, was because Prince Imperial Dragon was injured by him. Furthermore, Chen Shang had attacked him unexpectedly, but if they were to fight face to face, he did not have that much of a chance of winning. Then what's the strength of the Prince Imperial Dragon? Chen Shang felt that Prince Imperial Dragon's dragon power should have already surpassed Nirvana realm, and Long Shui himself felt that she was stronger than Prince Imperial Dragon by a little. Didn't I already say that? He's a bit weaker than me. Long Shui giggled. Are you saying that you're much stronger than me? This is the truth, alright. You can accept it. If it was me who dealt with that Prince Imperial Dragon, I would beat him down to his knees in a few hits. Chen Shang stopped listening to Long Shui's boasting. If he listened to too much, he would get infected with this disease. He still had many Qi Shendan that he could use to increase his strength, but he did not plan to use them. The sky pill belonged to a heavenly child called Feng Ziprofound. Back then, when Feng Ziprofound and his wife chased him to the 10 heavenly sacred mountain, they were scammed by him together. The heavenly pellet contained a very pure energy, it was all the power of immortals, but Chen Shang did not use much energy, it was already good enough for him to obtain a layer, because the energy inside the heavenly pellet was also of a certain level, and was affected by its original owner, so when he was absorbing, he lost a lot of his energy. Furthermore, he was an alchemist and had mastered heavenly alchemy. As long as he refined this heaven pellet into a pellet, he would be able to extract energy from this pellet to the best of his abilities. Chapter 1087. Taking out the Yanlong furnace would allow him to refine the heaven pellet more quickly and smoothly. Human heaven pills were different from demon beasts. If it were demon beasts, they could also refine human heaven pills into pellets with their body and body. However, because humans were of the same type as Chen Shang, they would produce a strong repulsion. This was the first time Chen Shang had refined a heaven refining pill, but it was all the same. As long as he used the heavenly alchemy's method of refining all living things, he would be able to remove all the impurities in the pill, leaving behind the purest and strongest energy. Thus, after Chen Shang refined countless mountains, he would be able to obtain a pill. When that heavenly pill was burnt, a large amount of its energy began to dissipate. That energy was either impurities or left behind a mark of the original owner's spirit. After being removed, the energy inside the pill furnace would become very pure, and after being roasted by flames, it would also improve its quality. During compression, the quality would increase. This way, even if a heavenly pill lost a massive amount of energy, it could still maintain a certain value. Refining elixirs into elixirs was also the same logic, so directly eating elixirs was a waste. This was because after refining elixirs into elixirs, the effects would be doubled or even more. I remember that after you killed those old fellows, their corpses were still hidden away. Why don't you use them to refine them? Bai Yu said. Originally, I planned to keep it for devouring, but your heavenly alchemy is even better. Chen Shang shook his head. No need, refining those old corpses will only waste my strength. I need a lot of energy right now, the energy impurities in those corpses are too much, it's still good to use them to raise the fire. Just like that, all the corpses were burned, causing the fire to burn even more vigorously. At the same time, it could also raise the quality of the heavenly pill a little bit. This heaven pill had allowed him to refine it for an entire day, until it was the size of a grain of rice. It shouldn't be enough after eating this thing. Chen Shang threw the small heaven pellet into his mouth, and after swallowing it, it exploded in his dantian. It was a very pure innate qi. He immediately activated his cultivation technique and used his fastest speed to refine this pellet. However, he was still far from breaking through. Every time he broke through, he would have to form 5 heavenly pellets in order to draw in Nirvana Doom, and this was not an easy feat. After refining the Grasswood Spirit and the heavenly pellet, I can only form the core embryo of 2 heavenly pellets. Chen Shang looked at the bodies of the 5 beast statue in his dantian. Only the green dragon statue and the vermilion bird statue had the 5th pellet in their bodies. Seems like we can only eat Qi Shendan S. Chen Shang took out a box of Qi Shendan S and grabbed it, sending it into his mouth as if he was eating popcorn. If it was anyone else who had such a large number of Qi Shendan to eat, they would definitely go crazy with joy. But right now, Chen Shang felt like she was eating poison, because the taste of the qi shendan was not very good. Even if she were to give it to Long Shui to eat, she would despise it. The taste of this qi shendan is the worst I've ever tasted. Seeing you eat it made me feel nauseous. In order to make his appetite better, Long Shui's fragrant little mouth was chewing on the sweet fruit flesh. Little scoundrel, when are you going to refine a high-grade ground-level pellet? Those Zonbeast pellets are no longer enough for me, I want a higher-grade one. Long Shui said. Soon, when I leave this place, I will refine it for you. After Chen Shang finished speaking, he said again, Sister Meiyao, Sister Yu, go and get me some more of these qi shendan's medicinal ingredients. I want to refine a super qi shendan, and I suddenly engraved a spirit grain on top of it. It can be used to help me absorb the immortal qi here, I want this chaotic mountain to eat it. Quote. Last time, when Chen Shang was refining a qi shendan, he had already secretly kept a few profoundie fruit and had Su Meiyao and Bai Yu copy it out a little. When he finished eating the last batch of qi shendan, he let out a sigh of relief. Moreover, his abdomen was currently very hot, and streams of thick energy were constantly reloading his dantian. One had to know that there were over 1,000 qi shendan in his stomach. If it was anyone else, they would have already burst. The meridians in Chen Zhang's body were currently like countless large rivers flowing. Dense innate qi circulated in his body, circulating through his meridians and bones, nourishing his muscles and soul, and then, entering into his dantian, entering into the mighty beast statue S, entering into a cloud of qi, and condensing the core embryo of the heaven pellet. The qi shendan not only produced innate qi, it also produced a type of mental energy, and the mental energy surged into the divine sense C, strengthening him. The larger the divine sense C, the more divine powers there was, the thicker it was, so although the qi shendan was hard to eat, it was extremely useful. If not for the fact that refining was relatively easy, this pill would definitely have been a high-grade ground-level pill. Chen Shang planned to use the qi shendan S to specially refine for his own disciples of the dragon subduing school to eat. As for the so-called big qi shendan S, he would use 10 sets of ingredients to refine 3 of them, and after going through a high degree of compression, their quality would increase by leaps and bounds. It was just that the difficulty was extremely high. Fortunately, he had a deep understanding of the qi shendan's medicinal ingredients, and as long as he burned them from the inside, it would not be difficult for him. Of course, even Li Baojun would not be able to take this job, so he had to do it himself. This brat is indeed a monster. He had snuck into a group of traitors and entered the chaotic mountain. Furthermore, his strength had increased so quickly. Maybe he really could beat that little holy dragon. Also, why does this little guy's blade look so familiar? Could it be Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword S? Haha, there's something to see. The mountain spirit muttered to himself. At this time, Chen Shang also did not know what kind of role the mountain spirit was, but even if he knew that the mountain spirit was not a good person, he had no choice, because he had no idea where the mountain spirit was. If only I had the complete heaven-earth killing method, I would have leveled up even faster. Chen Shang had already sensed that the cultivation techniques he was cultivating had a certain flaw. Although they were all modified from the heaven-earth killing method, they were not complete. For example, when he was refining qi shendan a bit faster, he felt that the speed was very slow. If these 1,000 qi shendan were to be sold, they could be sold for many of their own. If they were used to eat, the increase in strength would also be quite a lot. But now, after Chen Shang had consumed them, he had actually only formed the core embryo of half a heaven pellet. Of course, when he was cultivating, he felt that he had slept for a while. He did not know how much time had passed outside, but the huge stone room that he was in had time formation, so he felt that it shouldn't take too long. I still can't do it. Cultivating the heaven pill is really difficult. Seems like I can only proceed with the super qi shendan's plan. Chen Shang sighed softly. Chapter 1088. This time, Chen Shang was going to refine thousands of qi shendan S at the same time and refine 1,000 medicinal ingredients into one pellet. He had a certain level of experience in refining this kind of pill. It was just that this qi shendan was the highest level pill that he had refined before. Luckily, he had a very thorough understanding of the ingredients used to refine the qi shendan, and was able to quickly and magically communicate with the spirit herbs. Right now, not only was he refining 1,000 sets of medicinal ingredients into a pill, he was also carving spirit grain S on top of it, allowing the pill to have an even stronger effect. He had already tried it before, and at that time, he would crazily devour the surrounding spiritual energy at an unbelievable rate. The space inside the Yanlong furnace was extremely large. There was not even a little pressure when stuffing 1,000 sets of Qi Shen Dan's medicinal ingredients. Chen Shang did not use the method inside the heavenly alchemy that would turn the immortal energy into flames, because right now, he wanted to burn thousands of parts of the medicinal ingredients that were as one, and the flames which could borrow the energy of heaven and earth needed to be very strong, so at that time, it would be very difficult to control. At the moment he was only using his own flame, although it was slower, he could control it smoothly, and did not have to worry about it exploding, not to mention that when he was carving into the spirit grain, the requirements for the accuracy of his flame control was very high. At that time he would need God power to be imprinted on the surface of the spirit pill along with the flame. Fortunately, Chen Shang had some sort of connection with the Qi Shen Dan's medicinal ingredients and was able to easily let the flames infiltrate the profoundie fruit's body and burn away those very strong roots. The profoundie fruit inside right now were all of high quality. They were not like the abandoned medicinal herbs he refined last time, so it was much easier for him to refine them. This kid is concocting pills. What kind of pill was it? From the looks of it, it looked like a Qi Shen Dan, but if it was a Qi Shen Dan, it should have been finished long ago. These pill refiners are so bored, they should be able to cross Nirvana doom and meet with very powerful calamities. Mountain Spirit thought. He actually knew some knowledge about the Tao of pills. It seemed like he was not as simple as the Mountain Spirit. Hey, are you okay? Isn't it just the Qi Shen Dan? You have already been refining for 2 months. You are the weakest alchemist I have ever seen. Give up now and honestly use the immortal energy here to raise your strength. The Mountain Spirit could no longer hold it in and said. After Chen Shang heard this, he was a little surprised. Senior Mountain Spirit, you've been here for a long time, you must be bored. How about we make a bet? Chen Shang knew that this kind of old fellow liked to pretend to be deep and knew a lot of things, but he just didn't want to tell you how powerful he was, so it was hard to make them speak without using any tricks. I don't believe you. Although I am trapped here all day, I still have some understanding of the outside world. Aren't you refining a batch of Qi Shen Dan? Isn't it just that they use more medicinal herbs? The fact that you didn't explode means that you are skilled, but you are still far from relying on this pill to achieve a breakthrough. The Mountain Spirit said disdainfully. Old Senior, I'm asking you, do you dare to gamble or not? If you don't dare, then forget it. Chen Shang laughed, his laughter carried a trace of contempt. Bullsh*T, do you think I wouldn't dare to bet? However, if you lose, you can stay here with me for 100 years and just talk to me. Mountain Spirit was not afraid at all. Chen Shang only wanted to satisfy his curiosity. He wanted to dig something out from Mountain Spirit's mouth. Moreover, he was very confident in himself. He was very confident in this super Qi Shen Dan. Right now, the Qi Shen Dan was already at the final stage of refinement. 1,000 sets of medicinal ingredients were melted and compressed into a small cyclone. Although it was only the size of a fist, the quality was frightening. If it exploded right now, it could destroy an entire city. If he did not imprint the spirit grain, Chen Shang could already begin to condense the pellet. And right now, they needed to enter the state of a half-condensed pill. This was so that when this cyclone neared Pill City, in that short period of time, the spirit grain would be carved into this pill. The spirit grain Chen Shang had chosen was a type of spirit grain that specialized in converting immortal energy into spirit energy. This was originally a formation array, and was usually used for people who could not directly absorb immortal energy. But right now, Chen Shang needed him to complete it, and even arrange it inside a small pill. He had an extremely powerful divine force, so it wasn't too difficult for him. At this moment, the super Qi Shen Dan was like a ball of paste as it revolved inside the pill furnace. Chen Shang permeated his divine power into the pellet, and viewed the inside and outside of the pellet as a very large space. This way, because the pellet was too small, it would not be unable to be carved into the spirit grain. This was because when he was refining some very small things, such as storage rings, he would need to engrave a large number of profound and complex spirit grain and use this method to solve them. Chen Shang condensed the God power into visible golden threads. Inside the God power, there was a dense dragon power as the base of the spirit grain, carefully plotting the inside of the pellet. As the flames continued to burn, the spirit grain and the pellet became one. Using the energy of the pellet as the base of the formation, the spirit grain's power was activated. It took him more than a month to engrave the spirit grain, so if it wasn't such a supreme Dan, he would rarely engrave the spirit grain, which would waste a lot of time. Right now, the Qi Shen Dan was like a green paste, slowly revolving inside the furnace. Chen Zhang's mind moved, releasing God power to compress it. At the same time, he slowly withdrew the flame, letting the pellet solidify. At the same time, he did not affect the spirit grain inside. In the last step, he did it very carefully. It wasn't easy to condense a pill either. He used 2 days to slowly condense the mass of energy into a finger-sized pill. I'm finally done. Chen Shang took a deep breath, his head drenched with sweat, and he was extremely tired. It's not like there are none that can refine a lot of medicinal ingredients together, but it's not as bad as you, right? You've been refining for so long, boy, you should just admit defeat. Mountain Spirit chuckled. Chen Shang opened the lid of the pill furnace and a burst of cyan light flashed out. This kind of covering the gigantic stone room caused the silver light in the stone room to become extremely dim. The Qi Shen Dan slowly floated up, and on the surface of this pellet, many exquisite golden spirit grain could clearly be seen flashing. Chapter 1089. This pellet looked like a cyan gem inlaid with golden silk patterns. Not to mention its effects, just looking at it made people feel that it was inconceivable. The mountain spirit saw some clues, because the spirit grain were not simple, although they were densely packed, they were not chaotic at all. When these spirit grain gathered together on the pellet, it gave people a feeling that the pellet had a kind of indescribable spirituality. Old senior, you must not go back on your promise at that time. If I am able to survive under the Nirvana doom, you must keep your promise. Chen Shang swallowed the super Qi Shen Dan. The Qi Shen Dan entered his abdomen and immediately melted away. His body was wrapped in cyan-colored clouds of light, and there were many golden spirit grains on top of the cyan-colored light barrier. At the same time the Qi Shen Dan's medicinal power was cut apart, Chen Shang was in a place that was like a huge whirlpool in the ocean, while the surrounding dense immortal energy was like seawater, crazily surging towards him and entering his body. At the moment, the energy that his meridians could contain had already reached their limit, so he needed to compress the energy that was exploding in his body. Originally it was in a gaseous state, but after it was compressed by him into a liquid state, after it was compressed again, it would become viscous, but at this time, the energy that was being absorbed from the Qi Shen Dan was too much. He continued to compress it, and it turned into a type of golden energy that flowed into his dantian, forming the shape of a heavenly pellet. The density of energy in this chaotic mountain far exceeded Chen Zhang's expectations. The super Qi Shen Dan was also like this, extremely powerful. Previously, he thought that relying on this pill would give him a 70% chance of breaking through, but now, it was 100%. This kid, what exactly did he do? This pill is too fierce, and his body is like a bottomless pit. The energy that he consumes is terrifying. This boy's potential is great, it seems he will lose this time. The mountain spirit started muttering to himself. Chen Shang only used 10 days to finish forming the core embryo for the 4th pellet. As long as the 5th pellet was formed, he would be able to immediately attract the Nirvana doom. After crossing the Nirvana doom, 5 pellets would be enough. This place is truly a cultivation treasure. The energy in this chaotic mountain is much more than my dragon vein, and the quality is also much higher. Unless my dragon veins can produce purple immortal chi, it won't be able to match up to this place. Chen Shang could not help but exclaim. At this moment, his divine sense C was also surging with surging waves, because a large amount of God power was constantly flowing into his divine sense C, opening up his own divine sense C. When he finally calmed down, Chen Zhang's 5th heaven pellet had already been condensed and his Nirvana doom was about to arrive anytime. Right now, he could only wait quietly. So cold, is this an ice tribulation? Chen Shang shivered violently. His physique could still be frozen to such a state. Only those goddamned Nirvana doom had this kind of power. That's right, it's an ice tribulation. Chen Shang was certain of this, but a beam of cold energy shot towards him, striking his body. In just a split second, it was as if countless cold needles pierced his body. Ice quickly spread inside his body, making him unable to move. Ice attribute chaotic force. Chen Shang felt the strong power of primal chaos and immediately let the heaven fire soul in his body explode with strong flames to warm his body and expel the icy cold power. If his body was completely sealed in ice, then he wouldn't be able to be saved at all, even if he had Yulong blood S. Chen Shang had heard of ice calamity that had only one goal, and that was to freeze you, then turn your body into a pile of shattered ice. Even though it looked like a very gentle Nirvana doom, it was still very frightening. HMPH, don't even think of making me suffer twice. Chen Zhang's fist was like a flash of lightning, releasing golden flames, striking towards a white light that was aimed towards him, instantly dispersing the ice energy that was condensed inside. At first, it was only a beam of light, but in the end, there were many, but Chen Zhang was able to handle them all. With his fist and the boiling power in his body, he scattered all the cold energy that suddenly attacked him. The further one went, the more powerful the robbery power became. Right now, there were already dozens of strong cold rays of ice shooting over. Chen Zhang could only circulate the vigorous Xuanwu innate qi and form a water shield to block these terrifying cold attacks. Even though the profound Wu cover hood was powerful, it was still unable to withstand the cold energy. In an instant, it was frozen into a thick layer of ice, and then it shattered into pieces. If the water didn't work, Chen Zhang would use fire. A pair of gigantic fire wings suddenly appeared on his back, and wrapped around his body. Su su su. The biting cold power of the ice attack made a sound that made people feel cold. When it hit the Suzaku fire wing, the cold chi entered the fire wings, releasing waves of white mist. The vermilion bird flame was originally burning with flames, but when dozens of ice beams struck it at the same time, it gradually extinguished. Chen Zhang immediately activated his innate qi, allowing the Suzaku fire wing to burn once again. The robbery power became stronger again, and attacked hundreds of times in one breath. Now, Chen Zhang couldn't use his fist to disperse the robbery power like before, he could only stand at his original spot and defend. Every time they attacked, they would extinguish Chen Zhang's golden wings. However, Chen Zhang was always able to burn his wings again in an instant to withstand the terrifying power of the cold. Seems like the final strength of the robbery power will be 10 times greater than it is right now. Chen Zhang quickly swallowed a 5 elements profound Dan and recovered his lost innate qi. Nirvana Doom were already extremely terrifying. If Chen Zhang did not have a very solid foundation, he would have been dead already. The simultaneous attack of hundreds of cold rays of light had been going on for more than 2 hours, and it was getting more and more intense. He's here. The thing that Chen Zhang was most worried about had finally happened. The walls of the huge stone room started to flicker with a white light, and then shot out a white guansha, all of them aimed at him, thousands of them. Chen Zhang immediately activated his genuine qi of universe, transforming into his strongest dragon power, forming a powerful barrier of light that completely surrounded himself. The strong white light covered Chen Zhang. The icy cold power caused layer upon layer of frost to form on this huge stone room. In the blink of an eye, thousands of rays of light that carried an intense cold aura shot over. A gigantic block of ice appeared at Chen Zhang's location, and from the looks of it, even Chen Zhang had been completely frozen. Boom! Chen Zhang's body shook, the dragon power roared out, and shattered the huge ice on the outside of his body. Following that, thousands of cold chi attacking him, he roared, and the dragon power on his body turned into countless wild dragons, rushing towards the incoming cold chi. The cold chi formed from the robbery power clashed with the wild dragons formed from the dragon power, and instantly, dragon roars and explosions sounded out, causing the gigantic stone room to tremble slightly. Chapter 1090. The Nirvana Doom Chen Zhang was currently facing. It was already beyond what a normal person could face. Because he himself was an alchemist. In addition, the technique he trained in was quite heaven-defying. He was only at the Nirvana realm. There were so many heavenly cores in his body. It would be strange if his Nirvana Doom wasn't powerful. Even the mountain spirit was shocked when he saw this. The robbery power seemed to be endless. And it was getting stronger and stronger. Now it had increased to tens of thousands of attacks in an instant. However, the energy that Chen Zhang released this time was not the least bit weak. He was not just defending. At the same time, he also retaliated against the robbery power. Some of the robbery power had yet to approach his body. It was smashed into pieces by him using the supreme dragon power. The innate qi in Chen Zhang's body was terrifyingly thick. After all, they had already formed a heavenly pill. Not just a lot, and the quality was very high. If he survived the 5 Nirvana tribulations, facing the 7 or 8 Nirvana tribulations, he did not care anymore. If it was those demons, he used the devil-suppressing holy power. He could easily insta-kill them. This was also why the demons were strongly against him possessing a weapon like the Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword. Especially those traitors. This was because the traitors were worried that they would have evil intentions in the future. When he faced the Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword, would be harvested by Chen Shang like a blade of grass. The last wave of robbery power attacks ended. Chen Shang straightened his back. Stand there. Cold air was emanating from his body. He did not use any external items. He would have successfully passed through the Nirvana doom. Power of giving. Come on. Chen Shang clenched his fists tightly. He vented the excitement in his heart. As long as the 5th batch of heavenly pills was successfully formed, he had already stepped into the Nirvana tribulation. He would have to keep his word. Go and release the super old fire beast beneath the Yuming deep abyss. The mysterious power of giving descended. It poured into Chen Zhang's body. This kind of power seemed to be specialized in helping living beings resist the heavens and the earth. After every breakthrough, they all bestowed power upon the living. It allowed the creatures to become even more powerful. After absorbing the power of giving, 10 days had passed. Every beast statue in Chen Zhang's dantian, each had an extra heavenly pill. There were now a total of 25 pills. I've broken through. Senior Mountain Spirit, you better not hide. Chen Shang laughed. He then asked, when will I meet the opponent who is waiting for me? I just broke through. I can't wait. Quote. Don't be complacent. Your own potential is indeed quite good. However, you are far from being able to face that little holy dragon. The Mountain Spirit said. He had already told Chen Shang clearly. His opponent was the Prince Imperial Dragon. The people who entered this place, only half of them could go to the place where the treasure was kept. Therefore, they had arranged for people to come in and fight to the death. Ask what you want. I can only say that I know. Or what I can say. The Mountain Spirit said. I want to know what is going on in the chaotic mountain. Who was the guy who arranged for us to have a life and death duel? Chen Shang felt that this person's skills were very familiar to him. It's a dragon. That's all I can say. Mountain Spirit's answer made Chen Shang sink into deep thought. In the past, 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord had 2 friends. One was a dragon, one was a flame lion. The hiding place of the green dragon demon slain broadsword was arranged by these 2 friends. And that flame lion was the super old fire beast that Chen Shang met in the Yuming deep abyss. And the super old fire beast said he was trapped there by the dragon. Chen Shang felt that everything was arranged here. It should be that dragon. But he didn't know if the dragon was good or bad. Because the dragon had trapped the super old fire beast. So he had doubts. Was it because the super old fire beast was not a good thing? That was why he was trapped by the dragon. He had an agreement with the super old fire beast. As long as he possessed the strength of the 5 Nirvana tribulations, then he would have to help the super old fire beast escape. That dragon is very powerful. You can make a way to the center of the earth. Furthermore, at that time, DTN still hadn't broken apart yet. The earth's core was extremely powerful. Senior Mountain Spirit, are you even a mountain spirit of this mountain? Chen Shang asked again. This mountain came from the Chaos World. He wanted to know some things regarding the Chaos World. It can be said to be true. It can also be said that it isn't. The Mountain Spirit sighed. I was originally a mountain spirit of another mountain. But I did come from the Chaos World. And that mountain could also be considered a chaotic mountain. Only the mountain had been destroyed. That guy wants to give me a place to stay. That's why I'm here. It's that dragon. Quote. This sacred Dan realm only appeared when DTN was about to collapse. At that time, this was the place where traders came to hide their treasures. That dragon might have brought the mountain spirit here before this. I came early. At that time, the group of traders had yet to find the mountain. When they tie things up here, I'll tell the dragon, let him do something here. They were going to use it to swindle the descendants of those traders. I just didn't expect a weirdo like you to sneak in. The mountain spirit said, so you better not die. Senior, how does the Chaos World look like? Chen Shang clenched his fists. He was excited, because it was a very mysterious world. Mountains that fall from there are so terrible. How should I put it? It was a very chaotic world. There was no order. It's not as harmonious as these worlds. And here, the Primal Chaos Clan. It was from there. The people of the Chaos World had come to punish them. I just dropped down a lot of huge mountains. Back then, he had killed many powerful experts. And there was also the Chaos Fire Token, as well as a palace specially designed for harming people. Cough cough. I said too much. Quote. A palace for harming people. Chen Shang immediately thought of the 9 Heaven Devil Palace. It was actually the work of someone from the Chaos World. Chen Shang found it hard to believe the vision of that world that many strong warriors had. He actually made such a thing to harm others. Chen Shang was suspicious at the moment. The death of 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord all those years ago. The split with DTN. Perhaps it was the people of the Chaos World who were behind this. The White Tiger had also said so. That power was very powerful. Enough. I've said enough. Rest first. After that, he released his strongest power. If it was successful, you will meet that little holy dragon very soon. The mountain spirit said. Chen Shang took a few deep breaths. Don't let your imagination run wild. Because the more he thought about it, the more it seemed to him. The more uneasy he became. This was because after he felt that he was strong, it was very likely that he would face the mysterious power of the primal chaos world. And those traitors might once again get the support of the forces behind the scenes. An HES from the 25 heaven pellets suddenly surged out. Like a dragon's roar, it sprayed out from Chen Zhang's body, shocking the entire stone room. It was also at this time. White light exploded in the stone room. Following that, he saw the Prince Imperial Dragon. His battle with the Prince Imperial Dragon. It was finally here. Chapter 1091. Pride of the world, prideful of the world, proud of the earth, 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 proud of all. Prince Imperial Dragon was dressed in a golden dragon robe, sitting on a golden stone bed. He closed his eyes, absorbing the immortal energy, as if he knew that he would meet Chen Shang. I didn't expect it to be you. Prince Imperial Dragon stood up, put away the golden stone bed, and slowly walked towards Chen Shang. Are you disappointed? Chen Shang circulated the energy in his body and entered a state of combat. I am indeed a little disappointed. I originally thought that taking back the green dragon demon slain broadsword would be a little difficult. I like challenges, but now. Do you find me too weak? Chen Shang was not angry, and smiled faintly. Moreover, what you have in hand can make many strong people work for you. Before, I was afraid of him because of the two people beside you, but now, there's only you, and there's no way those two people can come to save you. Don't forget, I have killed leader before, and I have also killed dragons. I am also leader's leader, so you should have investigated all the experts that died at my hands, right? Chen Shang only reminded this Prince Imperial Dragon not to underestimate him. That's right, in the eyes of many people, although you are young, your strength is superior to many experts of the heaven realm. However, I do know that you use the Chaos Fire Token's protective divine light. I am very clear on the protective divine light that the Chaos Fire Token emitted when she accepted you as master. Quote. When Prince Imperial Dragon talked about this matter, his eyes were filled with jealousy and hatred, because he knew that after the Chaos Fire Token recognizes a master, he cannot snatch it away. That is to say, as long as Chen Shang dies, this treasure will also go with him. Do you know much about Chaos Fire Token S? But I remember that you pretended not to know in front of that Super Yuan sect leader, hee. Chen Shang laughed. Can't you see that I am very calm now? Prince Imperial Dragon nodded his head. You are currently very calm, but I believe that you are just forcing yourself to be calm or putting on an act. In my eyes, today is the day you die. Chen Shang sighed lightly. No matter what, I have cultivated the heaven-earth killing method, shouldn't you be worried? The Prince Imperial Dragon slowly said. What you have is only the ground killing, that tablet doesn't have all of the heaven-earth killing method, I know about that, so I don't have to be afraid of anything. You also cultivate the 9-turn dragon god mantra, the 72 changes arts, the heavenly dragon seal, some of my imperial dragon race's sacred arts, you must have already embarked on the path of cultivation, I am clear of that. But you are a human after all, and are unable to unleash the power of these sacred arts, so I have nothing to worry about. Quote. I know you very well, but you know nothing about me. I admire you for being so calm. Chen Shang smiled. This Prince Imperial Dragon actually said that she understood him a lot. He did not know much about the Prince Imperial Dragon, but this Prince Imperial Dragon only knew about him on the surface. If he truly understood him, the Prince Imperial Dragon would not waste his breath on him, and would use the strongest method to kill him. To be honest, if I had given you another 100 years, I wouldn't have dared to stand in front of you so casually. The Prince Imperial Dragon did not want to underestimate Chen Shang, because the fact that Chen Shang could create such a big matter was already enough, but he felt that no matter what he thought, Chen Shang would definitely die in his hands today. This was because he was extremely confident in his own strength. I want to ask you something. Please tell me the truth. Chen Shang was silent for a moment before he asked. I will try my best to satisfy a person who is on the verge of death. Even though I hate you very much right now, you are a dying person after all. I have always been very respectful towards those who are about to die. Prince Imperial Dragon said very generously. I want to know what your father, Dragon Emperor, will do after I kill you. Will it destroy space and directly head towards DTN to take my life? This was actually the thing that Chen Shang wanted to know the most, and also the thing that he was a little worried about. The Prince Imperial Dragon frowned slightly. Chen Zhang's tone was filled with confidence. It did not seem like he was putting on an act at all. It was as if he was completely confident that he could kill him here, which made him unable to help himself from taking a look at Chen Zhang's strength. However, he quickly felt that Chen Shang was just blindly trying to be arrogant, and that this would usually give him a lot of confidence. I don't know, because I won't die. I've never thought about this. From the moment my royal father gave birth to me, he believed that I could coexist with the great Tao of heaven and earth. He also had never considered this matter, so I can't answer you. And your question will never have an answer, because I am immortal. Quote. Prince Imperial Dragon's eyes revealed killing intent. From the moment Chen Shang saw him, Prince Imperial Dragon had displayed his strong murderous intent. Chen Shang rubbed his fist and smiled. Looks like if I want to know the answer, I can only kill you. I am a person with a strong desire to learn, so in order to get an answer, His Highness the Crown Prince has to suffer a little. It would be best if you commit suicide, but since I am the one who wants to know the answer, I won't bother you any longer. I only wanted to kill you in exchange for an answer. A dignified Prince Imperial Dragon's life is only worth an answer. Prince Imperial Dragon was instantly enraged. The Prince Imperial Dragon was angered by Chen Zhang's arrogant words and clenched his fists tightly. His face was cold, a killing light shot out from his eyes. The power of the Holy Dragon was strong and vast. It created a wave in his body along with a monstrous killing intent, gushing out from every part of his body. Immediately, a dragon roar came out from all directions, floating in the middle of the huge stone chamber. But Prince Imperial Dragon did not care about this, because he felt that he had the power to suppress Chen Shang and kill him. A human dares to be so savage. A golden light flashed in the Prince Imperial Dragon's palm, and a golden dragon sword appeared. From the looks of it, it was a holy level dragon weapon, but from a glance, Chen Shang immediately slashed with his sword, bringing along the extremely powerful the power of the holy dragon, as well as the dense immortal chi in the stone room. As though driven by his sword, they all turned into blade-like astral winds, accompanying the sword as it attacked towards Chen Shang. Seeing the powerful sword come at him, Chen Shang did not take out the green dragon demon slain broadsword S, but instead brandished his fist and directly used the back of his hand to clash with the sword blade. Ding! The fierce collision caused the golden dragon sword to let out a crisp dragon's roar. A wave of explosive power struck the four walls, causing the entire stone room to shake. Chapter 1092, Mysterious God. Mysterious God. Holy Dragon Sword is said to be refined from the skeleton of a powerful holy dragon. It's a top-grade holy level dragon artifact. It's close to a divine artifact. Long Shui said. Prince Imperial Dragon was forced back a few steps by Chen Zhang's punch. He could not help but be shocked in his heart. Chen Shang had actually used his fist to block his furious sword strike. Chen Zhang's fist, which was wrapped around the slaughter god's hand, was comparable to a divine tool in existence. It was extremely firm, and at the same time, it also possessed a very powerful strength. Following the jump of the mysterious killing god heart on his chest, the overflowing killing intent inside it turned into a terrifying killing intent, causing the two fists to become even more terrifying. This sudden killing intent caused Prince Imperial Dragon's face to change, because he had seen this kind of killing intent before. He had seen many strong experts, but only his father had this kind of terrifying killing intent, and this killing intent seemed to have surpassed his father. Chen Shang took a step forward, traversed the space, and suddenly arrived in front of Prince Imperial Dragon. A pair of killing fists with the power to kill and look down at the entire world came out like a bolt of lightning, instantly transforming into hundreds of fist shadows, enveloping Prince Imperial Dragon. The power of the punches carried a overflowing killing intent, and ruthlessly struck Prince Imperial Dragon's body. Chen Shang could clearly feel that his fist, in that instant, had all landed on Prince Imperial Dragon's body. Waves after waves of power surged out from his fist, causing him to feel extremely carefree. In that instant, Prince Imperial Dragon also felt a scorching pain drilling into his body. he let out a stuffy groan, and his body instantly overflowed with a large amount of golden dragon scales. No wonder that the power of the holy dragon erupted from the dragon claw, making it seem even more berserk and powerful. Adding to that speed, Chen Shang was unable to dodge and was struck on the shoulder, causing his arm to be in pain. The dragon claw even left a few deep claw marks on the thick arm. If I'm not wrong, you should have the White Tiger divine weapon. As long as he killed Chen Shang, he would be able to obtain the Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword and White Tiger divine weapon. This would further stabilize his future position as emperor. Chen Shang saw the fanaticism in his eyes and shook his injured shoulder. You can't get it. At this point in time, he had already realized that the Prince Imperial Dragon's defense was extremely strong and his speed was extremely fast. That claw just now was so fast that he was unable to dodge it. Now he understood why the mountain spirit said that there was a huge difference in strength between him and the Prince Imperial Dragon. The Prince Imperial Dragon did not have Nirvana Doom in the first place, and had extremely superior natural cultivation conditions, so even if he slept, he could raise his strength. The gluttonous female dragon in the ring was the same. This guy is unable to transform into his original body because the space here is limited. This is also a chance for you to defeat him. If he doesn't transform into his original body, then his strength won't be the strongest. Long Shui whispered to Chen Shang. And at this time, Chen Zhang's chest had an additional scratch. The speed of this Prince Imperial Dragon's attack was shockingly fast. It was extremely urgent for him to kill Chen Shang and obtain his Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword and White Tiger Divine Weapon. The Holy Dragon Sword and the sharp dragon claws continued to attack. The attack was extremely powerful, as though they wanted to crush Chen Shang into pieces. The sword and the claw combined, with their extremely fast speed, the Prince Imperial Dragon had the upper hand, while Chen Shang was forced to continuously retreat. It's just a mortal body, nothing more than that. Every time Prince Imperial Dragon saw the claw marks on Chen Zhang's body, he would feel extremely proud and feel even more disdainful. Do you think you're qualified to shout and kill me? I am a dragon, and you are a human. Quote. Chen Zhang's body trembled, the gold light suddenly flashed out. Just as he was retreating, he suddenly welcomed the Prince Imperial Dragon's berserk attack. The green light in his hands flickered, and the Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword appeared. Prince Imperial Dragon only felt that this time his Holy Dragon Sword and Dragon Claw had come into contact with an extremely sturdy object, and when he saw the cyan light flash by, he immediately panicked. He never thought that Chen Shang, who was about to be suppressed to the point where he couldn't even raise his head, would suddenly have such a counterattack, and when he realized that this cyan light was from a Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword that had previously chopped off one of his arms, it was already too late. What a powerful kid! Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword, Profound WU Diamond Armor, and White Tiger Divine Weapon are all on him. When Little Saint Dragon was in high spirits, he caught Little Saint Dragon by surprise and cut off one of his dragon claws. Mountain Spirit secretly praised in his heart. Boom! Prince Imperial Dragon's arm had just fallen to the ground, when a huge palm came crashing down, bringing about a strong pressure and crushed that arm into pieces. At the same time, it raised a wave of air, making Prince Imperial Dragon retreat a few steps. The killing god heart on his chest jumped about crazily, as a diagram of a flowing river appeared behind him. After the boundless ocean waves charged towards him, it surged like a river, swallowing the mountains and rivers, turning into a wave of energy that rushed into his body, causing his strength to increase by several-fold. Just as he was about to dodge, a great void star seal appeared, and the star formed from its energy fell down with a crackling sound. This was one of the celestial slain method, combined with Chen Zhang's killing god heart. The heaven-earth killing method was even more brutal, as if it was an ancient era where the stars were wreaking havoc on the earth. The moment the great void star seal was released, Chen Zhang's Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword rushed over in an urgent manner. It brought along an incomparably berserk pressure that shook the entire stone room, making it seem as if it was about to crack. Bang! Another loud sound, which covered up the Prince Imperial Dragon's dragon cry. Chen Shang could feel that the Prince Imperial Dragon's vitality was still very strong. The brutal attacks did not stop, and his body emerged with the devil-suppressing holy power. The Holy Devil Suppressing Seal's secret, subduing, strength, merged into the Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword, was accompanied by the power of the myriad mountains and seas. Swish! When the blade came out, cracks appeared in the space of the stone room. When the blade landed on Prince Imperial Dragon's body, it caused the Prince Imperial Dragon to let out a dragon's roar that pierced through the heavens. Half of Prince Imperial Dragon's shoulder was split off by Chen Shang, and was dripping with blood, gradually transforming into his original form. In order to prevent the Prince Imperial Dragon from immediately reconnecting his arms, Chen Shang smashed another Great Void Star Seal down, turning it into minced meat. Chen Shang, who had an overflowing killing aura, now released all the power in his body, and every attack was incomparably brutal. I am a leader of the Dragon Subduing School, and am here specifically to lower the dragon. You are just a stepping stone for me. Don't underestimate me, a dragon subduing leader. Chen Shang stabbed his sword into the Prince Imperial Dragon's dragon scales. The sharpness of Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword S was not something those dragon scales could stop. Chapter 1093. Pride Pill God 10933 Pride Pill God from 1. Pride Pill God 10933 Pride Pill God from 1. This was the profound WU diamond armor that his father, Dragon Emperor, had always talked about, the divine armor that even the Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword could not shake. This was also why he was unable to cause any damage to his body earlier, and why Chen Shang had purposely let him attack first so that he could relax and then, when he was unprepared, make a ruthless counterattack. When Chen Shang fought with Huang Jintian before, it was because Huang Jintian's strength was much stronger than his, and as a weak person, if he wanted to defeat the strong, he couldn't just rely on brute force. He had to conserve his strength and allow his strength to attack the enemy as much as possible. The profound WU diamond armor was indestructible. If Chen Shang had released it right from the start, he would have been on guard against it long ago. He would not be so relaxed because he still knew too little about Chen Shang. Prince Imperial Dragon, who had lost both of his arms, only wanted to turn into his original body right now, so that his power could explode out. Otherwise, he would have been sliced into pieces by Chen Zhang's sharp divine blade, and right now, he already had an unprecedented fear of death. He, who had always thought that he would not die, finally knew how unbearable this fear was. Prince Imperial Dragon's body flashed with a golden light. Chen Shang knew that he was going to turn into his original body. I will wait for your father, Dragon Emperor, to come find me. If he comes looking for me, I will kill him just the same. Chen Shang chopped horizontally with his blade, cleanly cutting off Prince Imperial Dragon's head, and at the same time hacking down vertically, splitting Prince Imperial Dragon's body apart from the center. This, little Shenglong is dead. Mountain Spirit looked at Chen Zhang's calm face. He couldn't believe that after killing a holy dragon, he was still so calm. Chen Shang withdrew his Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword and consumed a handful of medicinal pellets. From the moment he launched his counterattack, his strength had been unleashed at his peak condition, which caused a huge loss. Chen Shang, Prince Imperial Dragon's head that was rolling on the ground on the side uttered a sound. He was actually still alive. Chen Shang walked over, placed a palm on the head, and used soul-absorbing devil spell to search through his memories. Ah, soul-absorbing devil spell, you actually don't even think about knowing my secret. Prince Imperial Dragon used an unknown secret technique to suddenly erase all of his memories. He knew that he was dead for sure, but he did not let Chen Shang know of his memories. That's enough, Chen Shang smiled, because he already knew that this was the signal that they would use to make their decision when they entered. Prince Imperial Dragon's death caused the Imperial Dragon race's Dragon Emperor to immediately notice it. The sound of the dragon's roar shook the 9 heavens, and the Dragon Emperor's killing intent enveloped the heavens, causing them to feel extremely fearful. Chen Shang stuffed all of Prince Imperial Dragon's corpse into the Yanlong furnace as fast as he could. This kind of precious thing, without using the heavenly alchemy to refine the pellet, Chen Shang would feel that it was unfair for him. Oh yeah, there's another good pill to eat. Although I feel that eating my own kind is a bit strange, but if the taste is good, I won't mind. Long Shui said excitedly. Haha, this guy is still using the twin dragon pearls. Little scoundrel, make 2 pellets, you and I can also obtain the divine dragon bloodline after eating one, and the dragon power is also the power of the holy dragon. What about me? As for the combination of the white dragon and the holy dragon, it will be even more powerful. I am definitely going to be the heavenly dragon supreme lord. Quote. Chen Shang was also excited in his heart. He said, little naughty dragon, you must quickly grow up. At that time, the difficult task of annihilating that Dragon Emperor will be handed over to you, the chief great elder of the Dragon Subduing School. Hurry up and refine the pills. This Prince Imperial Dragon is really kind. Isn't it better to just stay in the dragon nest of the Imperial Dragon race? You actually gave us the ingredients needed to concoct pills. We must thank him. Long Shui was overjoyed, and Chen Zhang's strength had also exceeded her expectations. Using some simple method, he quickly sent the Prince Imperial Dragon into the pill furnace. Chen Shang despised this heartless, gluttonous dragon very much, to the point of not even letting his own Imperial Dragon race's holy dragon go. "Kid, what are you doing?" When Mountain Spirit saw Chen Shang pick up Prince Imperial Dragon's body like he was picking up mushrooms, and put it into the pill furnace, a flame started up. It looked like he was cooking a pot of dragon meat soup. At the very least, he had to take out some of the things inside, such as dragon pearls. But now, Chen Shang wanted even his head. "I'm concocting pills," Chen Shang said. "What? You are courting death?" Refining this kind of unique beast that was raised by the heavens and earth into a pill is a huge taboo in The Alchemist. Do you want to survive the next time you receive a Nirvana doom? Mountain Spirit shouted in shock. Really, this is the first time I have met such a dragon of good quality. I am an alchemist. If I don't refine this holy dragon, how would I be able to face the ancestors? Chen Shang wasn't afraid of any Nirvana doom, nor could he go through any troubles with Long Shui's stomach. He was the same as this greedy female dragon. This kind of thing, being able to refine a pill, was definitely a huge supplement. Damn it, if I eat a pill made from this stuff, what would I do if I miss it in the future? Long Shui muttered to himself. Then pray for more dragons to come after me. Chen Shang laughed. Seeing Chen Zhang's smiling face, the mountain spirit thought that he had met a madman. This fellow was comparable to the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord from before, and was specialized in this kind of heaven-defying thing, and he was extremely proud of it. Senior Mountain Spirit, when will there be a way out? Chen Shang asked. Soon, when all of you are half dead, the tunnel will open, and then you can go to that place where the treasures are hidden. But I will tell you first, there will definitely be a dispute, and in their eyes, you are a peerless enemy. Chen Shang laughed. Senior, don't worry about me, I already have a way to deal with it. Chen Shang heard the secret signal given by the Super Yuan sect leader. If he ate the pellet refined by the little holy dragon, then he would still be able to own the power of the holy dragon, and at that time, he would be able to impersonate the Prince Imperial Dragon without being seen through. He felt that the mountain spirit should be extremely worried about those guys, because he would not even know what would happen if he died. Outside the chaotic mountain, the mournful and furious dragon roar echoed throughout the entire sacred Dan realm. This was the dragon cry released by the Imperial Dragon race. Outside the chaotic mountain, there were many people from the ancient powers. After hearing the dragon roar, some of the old people said in shock, Prince Imperial Dragon is dead, Dragon Emperor is furious, this. Why is he dead? Could it be Chen Shang? Quote, it was actually Chen Shang who did it, now Chen Zhang's dragon subduing school is completely done for. Not necessarily, it's not good for DTN right now, moreover the sacred Dan realm is very stable. No matter how strong the Dragon Emperor is, it's impossible for him to break through the power of this law. It's already not bad that he could transmit his voice over. Quote, she had to admire the little disaster that Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu had cultivated, who managed to kill a holy dragon just like that. She felt that Chen Shang would really be able to shake the two super strong forces in Heaven Realm and Imperial Feather Race in the future. Chapter 1094. The news of Prince Imperial Dragon's death swept through the entire Heaven Realm like waves, and the people of Sacred Dan Realm knew about it very quickly. Only the people in Chaotic Mountain did not know about it. However, no one knew that the little holy dragon, who was the focus of all attention and had the potential to become a Dragon Emperor, was currently in Chen Zhang's Yanlong furnace, with a little white dragon waiting anxiously for that little holy dragon pellet by his side. This kid really did it. I just didn't expect him to kill little Saint Dragon so quickly. It wasn't really a surprise for Huang Jintian, Wu Kaming and the others when they heard the news in the Heaven Sacred City. It wasn't the first or second time Chen Shang had done something like this. Suddenly, the earth violently shook. Not good, Imperial Dragon Race's Dragon Emperor is going to break through the space. Huang Jintian's face changed. Chen Shang was still in Sacred Dan Realm. If he came here, as long as they caught him, Chen Shang would be in trouble. Inside the Zilan Mountain Valley, Yan Zilan, Du Yanyao and Yun Zhu were listening to Dongfang Jing narrating the shocking things that he had done to DTN. Now that the Prince Imperial Dragon had died, they were extremely worried. Since the Prince Imperial Dragon is dead, the grandson won't be able to escape either. Yanyao, you don't have to worry about getting married again. Yun Zhu laughed. But Chen Shang will definitely anger the Super Yuan Mountain. Du Yanniao really wanted to know the situation Chen Shang was in right now. Within the boundless star domain, the white tiger felt that the entire star domain was trembling. Bai Xing, who was beside him, also discovered something, and the entire starry sky was filled with an angry killing intent. White Tiger and Bai Xing did not find any clues about the starry sky White Tiger race in the star domain and were returning at this moment. Old ancestor, what's going on? Bai Xing asked. Chen Shang is in trouble again. From the looks of the aura, it seems like the Imperial Dragon race is angry. I have to hurry back, if not the brat is done for. The White Tiger looked helpless. Right now, many people wanted to know where Chen Shang was and what he was doing. However, many of them guessed that he was probably running away or something. Of course, Chen Shang was currently refining the just-killed little holy dragon into a pill. He was not even the least bit worried, he was still planning to kill all of them later. The Prince Imperial Dragon's dragon body was extremely tough, so Chen Shang had to use the heavenly alchemy to borrow the fire. He sucked in the immortal energy around him, turned it into an intense flame, and quickly burned the dragon's body. He had previously refined an unreal ghost eagle before, and he had the experience of refining beasts into pills. Although the unreal ghost eagle was much weaker than the little holy dragon, the methods were similar, only that the firepower used was different. 2 dragon pearls. No wonder this little holy dragon thought that he would become a dragon emperor. In Imperial Dragon race, twin dragon pearls are indeed rarely seen. But in the end, he still entered my stomach. Long Shui laughed tenderly. This little holy dragon isn't very strong, so the dragon pearls should be easy to refine. The hardest parts should be the flesh. How about we strip off the dragon scales? The dragon's body is huge, and it would take a lot of time to pull it out. Plus, I can't use the dragon scales, they'll only kill people if I sell them. Who would dare to use an artifact made from the body of a small holy dragon? Chen Shang still decided to melt the dragon bone or something like that. Boom. The entire sacred Dan realm rumbled once again, accompanied by the furious roar of a dragon. It made people feel as if there was a gigantic dragon desperately reloading the sacred Dan realm. The Dragon Emperor is coming. Originally, many people thought that this space was very stable and that it was not easy for the heaven realm to come over, but now, the power of the Dragon Emperor made it difficult for everyone to remain calm. They were very worried that after the Dragon Emperor arrived, they would not be able to find Chen Shang and start a massacre. Inside the chaotic mountain, Chen Shang also felt his body tremble, but it wasn't as intense as the ones outside. However, the mountain spirit knew that he was worried about affecting Chen Zhang's refining, so he did not tell Chen Shang that the Dragon Emperor's the power of the Holy Dragon was already here and could arrive here at any time. If he could absorb the energy from the Dragon Pearl as per normal, it would take a very long time, but if he refined it into a pill, it would be very fast. Moreover, Chen Shang was still refining the Holy Dragon's flesh and bones into Dragon Pearls. Refining the Little Saint Dragon pellet was much faster than refining the Super Qi Shendan before, because it only needed to melt and then squeeze the refined energy together. In the end, the condensing of the pellet would be completed, and because the heavenly alchemy was suitable for refining this kind of thing, it would be much easier. Chen Shang was currently splitting it into 2. If he wanted to compress it into 1, he felt that it would be difficult, since the power of this holy dragon was extremely huge and he could not take it for himself. He wanted to give Long Shui a taste. In a few days, Chen Shang was done. The huge stone room suddenly released multicolored light. The mountain spirit told him that he was free to leave. Chen Shang was a little regretful. He had originally planned to eat that small divine dragon pill, but the moment Long Shui took it from him, he placed it in his mouth. Don't worry, let me release the power of the holy dragon. I can refine it faster than you. Long Shui laughed, turn into that guy's appearance. Chen Shang felt that after passing down some the power of the holy dragon to him, he could finally relax and take on the appearance of a Prince Imperial Dragon. Everyone who entered the chaotic mountain were teleported to a stone room. Adding Chen Shang, there were only 10 people left. When he entered, he was around 30. In a duel, there should still be 15 left. Someone has fought 2 rounds, that was arranged on purpose. Mountain Spirit told Chen Shang that it was because Chen Shang was not a traitor and Chen Shang was extremely talented, that was why he was able to communicate with Chen Shang. The other 9 people looked at each other. They all knew that the other party must have gone through a duel, but they didn't know who had killed who. Of course, they wouldn't say it themselves. Seeing that the Super Yuan sect leader was still alive, Chen Shang guessed that the Super Yuan sect leader probably killed the Three-Horns Dragon King. Only that guy had that kind of strength, which helped him get rid of this scourge. The other people were all heavyweights of the Sheng domain and Tong Tian aristocratic family. Although it looked like they were forming an alliance, they could turn hostile at any time during a life and death situation. Thus, they were all forced to duel like Chen Shang previously, only surviving after killing one of them. Super Yuan sect leader was extremely cautious at the moment. He was currently sending a sound transmission to everyone, confirming their identities with a code to prevent Chen Shang from sneaking in. This was because he did not dare believe that Chen Shang had died. Chapter 1095. 1 month later. Super Yuan sect leader sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang. 1 month later. Super Yuan sect leader sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang. Gather in the main hall of Super Yuan Mountain. Chen Shang immediately went forward, causing the Super Yuan sect leader to heave a sigh of relief. He believed that the person with the same strength as Chen Shang should be the Prince Imperial Dragon, and if Chen Shang was killed by the Prince Imperial Dragon, then there was a high chance that all of Chen Zhang's things would be obtained by him. I believe everyone must have suffered a lot on the way here. Since the other comrades are unable to escape this predicament, we can only mourn in silence for them. We still have to continue exploring the chaotic mountain, let's go. Super Yuan sect leader walked in front and headed towards the stone room's door. Everyone understood in their hearts that if they spread the news that they had killed the leaders of other forces, they would be in trouble. However, Super Yuan sect leader had said just now that those people died because they were unable to escape their predicament. Leaving the stone room, everyone walked along a dark corridor. They were all silent, but they really wanted to ask the other party, who had killed who, especially that Chen Shang, whom everyone felt that Chen Shang must have also fought with someone else. Although some people suspected that it was the Prince Imperial Dragon who killed them, they were not sure. Half of the Prince Imperial Dragon was already dead, and the other half of it had been eaten by Long Shuiyi. Chen Shang was actually very relaxed, because the Super Yuan sect leader was not on his guard against him. In this place, the Super Yuan sect leader was the strongest, and now that he was being guarded against by the big shots from the traitors, they were afraid that the Super Yuan sect leader would want to take all the treasures for himself and kill them all, because if they were in his place, they would do the same. Although this Super Yuan sect leader looked more righteous, everyone knew that he wasn't a good person. Otherwise, when he was dominating the sacred Dan realm, he wouldn't have killed so many people. Everyone had their own little thoughts, and Chen Shang was no exception. He wanted to take sole possession of the last few treasures, but killing these guys was extremely difficult, even using magical corruption gases wouldn't be possible. In front of them was the end of the passage, and everyone was a little nervous because they were about to see the treasure, and they were worried that they would be killed by the Super Yuan sect leader, because they had done this kind of thing before, but they did not expect that they would meet it themselves. If it was before, their side of the traitor forces might not be afraid, but they only had 8 people left, and facing the powerful Super Yuan sect leader, they had no chance of winning. Prince Imperial Dragon, I don't think you want to share the final results with those guys. Super Yuan sect leader suddenly transmitted to Chen Shang. Chen Zhang's heart skipped a beat, and he anxiously replied, Super Yuan sect leader, what do you mean by that? Super Yuan sect leader said, I'll kill those few guys and divide the remaining items. It is said that there are 30 boxes, and I will give you 8 of them. You just have to keep it a secret. Quote. Chen Shang scolded this guy in his heart. He only gave 8 of them. Divide evenly, 15 apiece. Of course Chen Shang had to bargain. The Super Yuan sect leader did not dare to touch him, because he was currently the Prince Imperial Dragon and he was worried about angering the Dragon Emperor. You 10. You need to know that I have to bear a lot of risks and you have the Imperial Dragon race supporting you from behind. Super Yuan sect leader said, each of you take a step back. Alright, Chen Shang promised first, without the 8 fellows, then he would think of a way to get rid of this Super Yuan sect leader. Although this was not possible, but at least he had 10 boxes in the end, just that he did not know what was inside those boxes. Super Yuan sect leader pushed open the door and told Chen Shang, let's take a look at the items inside the boxes. If they aren't valuable, then I won't take action. Was also curious about the items inside the boxes. Back then, those people had spent a lot of effort to hide here, so there must be something inside, but Mountain Spirit had previously said that there was a dragon that had mixed in before. Chen Shang felt that even if there was something good, it would definitely have been taken away by that dragon. After passing through the door, everyone arrived at a lavishly decorated hall. On the floor of the hall, there were 3 boxes. There were only 4 of them, causing everyone to feel a wave of fear. However, they all saw traces of other boxes being placed on the ground. Super Yuan sect leader did not immediately open the box. Instead, he turned around and looked at the 8 ancient powerhouses. Super Yuan sect leader, what are you doing? A big shot asked coldly. There are only 4 boxes here. Super Yuan sect leader clenched his fists tightly. That's right, we should open it and see what's inside. We should discuss how to divide it. He was afraid that he would be killed by the Super Yuan sect leader, so even if there were only 4 items, he did not plan to split them among the group to prevent them from losing their lives. Chen Shang had already activated his Chaos Divine Eye to try and see what was inside the chests, but he was still unable to do so. At this time, he noticed that there was a door in one of the areas in the hall, and it should be the exit. Super Yuan sect leader, if they don't get what they want, go back and tell them about the powers in the heaven realm. At that time, they will definitely think of a way to cause trouble for you. Maybe they will even frame you, saying that you killed other people, so let's split these 4 boxes evenly. I will not spread this. Chen Shang transmitted to the Super Yuan sect leader. Super Yuan sect leader had thought about it before, and he had to get the things he wanted. If he did not give the items to the 8 great leaders, he would be in trouble if they went out and blabbered on in the future. The strength of the traders in Heaven Realm was still very strong. Humph! The Super Yuan sect leader steeled his heart and slapped his huge palm towards the 8 big shots. The dense power of primal chaos caused the entire chaotic mountain to tremble. Super Yuan sect leader, you, one of the elders cried out in shock. As soon as he came into contact with the powerful chaotic force, he immediately turned into dust. The other 7 were on their guard and immediately threw out a large amount of immortal equipment to block this ferocious attack. The 7 traders were also very powerful. They actually managed to receive the Super Yuan sect leader's palm attack, and at the same time, quickly retreated. Super Yuan sect leader's palms gathered power as they slapped at the 7 people wildly. The shadows of his palms overflowed into the sky, bringing with it the power of primal chaos as they smashed against the 7 people, causing them to scream miserably. Chen Shang watched from the side, and just as the Super Yuan sect leader attacked again, he hurried over to the side of the boxes, and quickly stored them into the ring. This move was discovered by the Super Yuan sect leader, but Chen Shang was extremely fast, so there was only a box left. He did not care about attacking the 7 people, he just threw a palm at Chen Shang. Even if it was something that the Prince Imperial Dragon tried to take advantage of, he would still make a move. Chen Shang dodged hurriedly, stepping on the shrinking step he rushed towards the door. Super Yuan sect leader came to the side of the box. He kept the box and attacked Chen Shang frantically, but Chen Shang had already used the power of the spatial laws, and quickly passed through the door. Chapter 1096. Prince Imperial Dragon, you despicable and shameless fellow, don't blame me for being merciless. Prince Imperial Dragon, you despicable and shameless fellow, don't blame me for being merciless. Looking at the 7 injured great leaders on the ground, he struck them with his palm, turning them into meat paste, then ran towards the door, chasing after Chen Shang. Chen Shang was running frantically in the passage. This was still the chaotic mountain. Other than feeling the door, it was hard for the mountain to penetrate into the human body. If he did not play with it, he would not be able to obtain 3 boxes at all. Originally, he planned to take all 3 of them, but the Super Yuan sect leader was very cunning. He had a hand up to guard him. What made him laugh was that the Super Yuan sect leader did not manage to identify him, but Chen Shang felt that it would be good if he continued to doubt him. Super Yuan sect leader was very angry. He had to kill this cunning Prince Imperial Dragon, because he had already fallen out with him, and had just tried to kill him, so when Prince Imperial Dragon went out, he would definitely expose the truth, and at that time, those traitors would come looking for him, so he would die even faster. Killing Prince Imperial Dragon was indeed very risky, and that was only after Dragon Emperor found out about it. He felt that Dragon Emperor wouldn't know that he was the one who did it. Can you open those boxes? Chen Shang gave the chest to Su Meiyao and the others. No way, Long Shui said. It seems like you need something to open it, but there shouldn't be any formation inside. You can split it with the green dragon demon slain broadsword. Alright, I'll tell you when I'm safe. Chen Zhang's speed was not slow either. Using the shrinking step to coordinate with the spatial travel, he increased the distance between him and the Super Yuan sect leader in the passage. Half an hour later, in the dark tunnel, Chen Shang saw a door in front of him. He immediately passed through space, only to see a strong light appearing as he left the chaotic mountain. Outside of Chaotic Mountain were the elders and a few young men. When they saw that someone had come out from the mountains, they were shocked that it was the Prince Imperial Dragon, because they believed that the Prince Imperial Dragon was already dead. Just as Chen Shang came out, that Super Yuan sect leader also quickly followed. Furthermore, he gave him a palm, and a mountain-sized palm appeared, directly smashing towards him with extreme speed. Everyone was even more shocked. The Super Yuan sect leader was actually trying to kill the Prince Imperial Dragon. Little maid, run, this Super Yuan sect leader will definitely kill all of you. Chen Shang anxiously transmitted to Ji Meixian. When the Super Yuan sect leader saw the news of Chen Shang, he immediately looked at the group of people. His attack on the Prince Imperial Dragon had already been seen by the people, and the only people who could come out of there alive were himself and the Prince Imperial Dragon. Now that the Prince Imperial Dragon had disappeared, if these people spread word of it, it would be difficult for him to avoid all kinds of suspicions. Ji Meixian quickly realized something and immediately hid into the forest, then quickly left the place where the group of people were gathered at. Not long after Ji Meixian left, a giant handprint that was condensed from the power of primal chaos suddenly came crashing down, blasting all of them to death. Chen Shang appeared by Ji Meixian's side, grabbed her, and placed her inside the ring. After that, he used up most of his energy and traveled through space, distancing himself from the Super Yuan sect leader. What happened? Ji Meixian was overwhelmed with shock. If she had been even a little bit slower, she would have very likely been severely injured. All dead. Chen Shang explained everything that had happened. He was already very far away, but he could still feel the power of the Super Yuan sect leader's random attacks. Ji Meixian was extremely speechless. Chen Shang was just too daring, but this move was indeed beautiful. As long as you go back alive, it'll be fine to tell others that this guy killed the Prince Imperial Dragon and told them everything that happened to me. As for my matters, I won't mention them at all, because at that time, no one will believe the words of the Super Yuan sect leader. Chen Shang was indeed a little worried that the Dragon Emperor would come to find him, but right now, he could clearly sense the terrifying power of the Dragon Emperor. A dragon's roar shook the horizon. Super Yuan sect leader immediately recognized that it was Dragon Emperor's roar. His heart was filled with shock. He immediately thought that just now, he had already killed Prince Imperial Dragon. That was why he angered Dragon Emperor. The reason why he was so ruthless just now, and even killed his own Super Yuan Mountain, was to prevent this matter from being leaked out. Now, no one saw him doing it with their own eyes and would definitely not suspect him. Chen Shang was still inside the chaotic mountain, sprinting frantically all the way. He still had to avoid the primal chaos beasts and the primal chaos barbarians. He used the transformation techniques and turned himself into a bird beast, making the journey much safer. The sacred Dan realm being hit by the Dragon Emperor's attacks all day also made him frightened. No one saw that I was the one who killed the Prince Imperial Dragon. If the White Tiger can return, maybe I can get Ji Meixian to help clear my suspicions. Chen Shang could feel the anger of the Dragon Emperor at this moment. After more than 10 days of trekking, Chen Shang had finally reached the city beside the chaotic mountain. He remembered that Duhai was right here. Little maid, Dragon Emperor is a supreme expert who cultivates the divine way. You should know that he might be able to search your mind for what you are seeing. I'm worried that he will see through you. Chen Shang said. Don't worry about that. The divine clothing on me is very powerful and can protect you and me from any flaws. I can seal some memories, but I can do it myself. Ji Meixian came out from the ring, and right at this moment, a group of people wanted to leave Chaotic Mountain. Because Prince Imperial Dragon died here, they were worried that if Dragon Emperor got angry, they would destroy everything in this place. Ji Meixian would follow this group of people to teleport across the Blood Devil Forest, and Chen Shang would look for Duhai. Previously, Ji Meixian had said that everyone would have the promise of 10 years. When the time came, they would gather at the altar and open the altar to return to DTN. Duhai understood Sacred Dan realm the best, so he could only go find him. Elder Du, Chen Shang whispered to a slovenly old man at the entrance of the city. Little bastard, you've stirred up a disaster. Duhai was very sure that the Prince Imperial Dragon was chopped off by Chen Shang. Don't worry, Dragon Emperor won't think that I did it. Chen Shang sent a sound transmission to Duhai. Hurry up and take me to a safe place. What wouldn't think you did it? The entire Sacred Dan realm knows that it was you who did it. What Du Hai said was true, because Chen Shang was the only one who could have such a possibility. Chen Shang didn't want to talk much with him, so she urged him to bring her to a safer place. Of course Du Hai was helping him, and Chen Shang had even told him that Super Yuan sect leader's son was already dead. This made him more happy, because Du Yanya would not be forced to such an extent. Of course, Chen Shang would not tell him that, if Ji Meixian's plan succeeded, it would be the time when the Super Yuan Mountains clan would be annihilated. Chapter 1097. Du Hai knew that the chaotic mountain was not safe, and anxiously brought Chen Shang to pass through the Blood Devil Forest, heading in a desolate direction. On this barren land, Chen Shang was extremely suspicious, because this was the place where the 18 floors of Sacred Dan Realm were located. How could there be such a place? Not to mention immortal qi, there wasn't even spiritual energy. Where are we going? Chen Shang asked. He was sure that Du Hai would bring him to a safe place, but if the illusions were too weak, it would be extremely difficult for him to cultivate. To the real Sacred Dan Realm, do you think that's all there is to it? Before, when Du Hai hid in the chaotic mountain, he was only waiting for the right opportunity to take revenge. But now, he wanted to help Chen Shang escape, so he had no choice but to bring him here. Chen Shang was a little surprised. He felt that this 18 layers should be a very small place, but it was not the real Sacred Dan Realm. What is a real Sacred Dan Realm? Chen Shang asked. Where there is a pill saint, there is only a corner of the Sacred Dan Realm. Chen Shang already knew that it was impossible for the Sacred Dan Realm to be that simple. Otherwise, he wouldn't be called Sacred Dan Realm. However, he had thought that the most powerful part of the Sacred Dan Realm was actually within the chaotic mountain. There is a way to get to the Saint Core Realm in the chaotic mountain. That is where the true alchemy civilizations gather. It's just that there are a few demons causing trouble there occasionally, but it's still safe. Long Yanjing doesn't dare to mess around there. Du Hai saw the doubt on Chen Zhang's face and continued to speak. Honestly, there are only two paths to the Sacred Pill Realm. The first is right here and I just discovered it, because the second is in the chaotic mountain and only a few people know it. The road we're walking on isn't safe either. We might run into dangerous guys. I think that the Saint Core Realm would intentionally seal off this corner to guard against the primal chaos race. In this corner that is sealed by the real Sacred Dan Realm, not only is the primal chaos race a threat, there are also many secret passages that can lead to some worlds. This might be the reason behind the seal. Chen Shang was a little excited. A real Sacred Dan Realm, where the Pill Saint exists, he felt that there must be a lot of spirit medicine there. I'll send you in, I plan to stay here. Du Hai said. Elder Du, can you help me take care of some of my friends? I'm worried for their comfort. Chen Shang still hadn't received any news from Lu Meng'er yet, so he could only entrust the matter to him. He told Du Hai in detail about the situation and told him to look for Huang Jintian and the others. In front of them was a sea of flames. Along the way, they did not encounter any kind of danger, but this stretch of burning land looked extremely terrifying. Especially that kind of threatening fire, it made Chen Shang feel that this was another Earth's Core Fire Realm. He was extremely powerful in the DTN Earth's Core Fire Realm and had yet to finish exploring it. However, the one in front of him looked to be about the same as the Earth's Core Fire Realm. Just cross this sea of fire, you should be able to do it, right? I will not keep you company, I will quickly find your friends, although my Du family is dead, but I have many friends, you can rest easy. Du Hai said anxiously. He was in a rush, and threw a piece of paper to Chen Shang. Go to that side, and be careful of this woman, she is a very terrifying woman. Okay, you can go in. Chen Shang opened up the piece of paper and saw that the portrait was actually Bai Ziqian. Bai Ziqian was offered a bounty, and with 10 immortal pills as the bounty, it even stated the reason why she was offered the bounty. Because of the forbidden poison that was magical corruption gas, Chen Shang took a deep breath and said, I understand. Chen Shang entered the sea of fire, stepped on the shrinking step, and ran in the direction Du Hai indicated. Bai Ziqian actually came to Sacred Dan Realm, which made him excited. This beautiful poisonous woman was Bai Yu's elder sister, and he had taken advantage of her a little back then. However, her situation was not looking good. After using the magical corruption gas to poison an immortal king, she would be hunted down no matter where she went. Chen Shang traveled through the sea of flames. Judging from the temperature, he felt that the road he took was just outside of this fiery domain. If he went deeper, the temperature of the flames would definitely be very high. If it was an ordinary person, it would be very difficult to pass through. At the very least, they would have to endure 5 nirvana tribulations before they would have enough strength to pass through. I have already passed the 5 nirvana tribulations. When I return to DTN, I won't let out that big flame lion. Chen Shang was planning to get the super old fire beast back. Pulling it into the dragon subduing school was a good idea. Chen Shang, if you go over there, can you help me find my sister? I really want to see her right now. Bai Yu looked at the portrait and looked at the beautiful woman with the pointy braids, feeling a little sad. Chen Shang not only had a large number of magical corruption gas here, he also had the newly acquired drunk god flower. He had grasped 2 types of strange poisons, and if he wanted Bai Ziqian to be safer in the future, it would be for him to have more and more powerful strange poisons. Chen Shang used 3 days of time to finally rush out of the Sea of Flames, arriving at a place with an extremely dense immortal energy. What made him astonished was, even though he was followed by a sea of flames, there was indeed a grassland about half the height of a human in front of him. Wow, what grass is this? It's hotter than the sea of fire. Chen Shang immediately flew up, and then stepped on the shrinking step, and ran towards the mountain spirit in the distance. Is this the true sacred Dan realm? It's much better than over there. Chen Shang walked leisurely in the forest, wanting to see if there were any spirit medicines here. However, he discovered that there were traces of many people who had come here, and he felt that the real sacred Dan realm should not be so lacking in spirit medicines. These places are very suitable for growing spiritual medicines. There aren't many spiritual medicines and they have all been harvested. It seems like the herbs here are very scarce, are some large forces doing this on purpose. Control the spiritual medicines and plant them in their own backyard. Su Meiyao said. There are many powers who have done this in the heaven realm. Chen Shang built a cave here, and after hiding inside, he ate that small holy dragon core. Right now, he needed to quickly raise his strength, and any additional strength would allow him to be safer for a bit more. A dragon's roar suddenly woke Chen Shang up. His heart trembled, because the Dragon Emperor was coming over. When the Dragon Emperor came over, he immediately came to the chaotic mountain, and it was not just the Dragon Emperor, he brought a lot of strong warriors but most of them were human experts. From their clothes, one could tell that they were the heavyweights of the traders in the heaven realm. Chen Shang, come out. No matter where you hide, I will find you. Dragon Emperor's rough and powerful voice was recalled to this side of the sacred Dan realm but he did not hear Chen Shang. Chapter 1098, Du Hai heaved a sigh of relief. Chen Shang had already gone over to that side, and would be safe for the time being unless Dragon Emperor could find that side. At that time, Chen Shang would have to rely on his own good fortune. This group of people were very strong. When they traversed across Blood Devil Forest, the monsters underground of Blood Devil Forest didn't dare to act recklessly, as they were frightened by this peerless Dragon Emperor. Amongst the Heaven Sacred City, Ji Meixian saw Zhao Yiprofound following an old man and flying in from the sky. She had used the White Sea Imperial Land's secret treasure to send the message, and after Zhao Yiprofound got wind of it, he immediately brought the White Sea Imperial Land's experts over. Those traitor powers had sent people to the sacred Dan realm to search for the treasure, but they all died. However, they knew that Ji Meixian was still alive, because his life orb wasn't broken. In a hall in the Heaven Sacred City, Ji Meixian was a little apprehensive. She never thought that after rebirth, she would be able to face so many strong experts, and amongst these strong people, there were some that she had known back then, but that was only by chance. Fortunately, she had covered her face in the past, so no one knew her appearance. The Dragon Emperor was seated at the head of the group. He was a sturdy and mighty handsome middle-aged man, the golden red armor made him look even more domineering. Tell me everything you know, why is it that only you are still alive when everyone is dead? The Dragon Emperor's voice was indifferent, but it gave Ji Meixian a headache. It was obvious that she did this on purpose, making it so that she did not dare lie. I was not the only one who survived. At that time, Super Yuan sect leader also came with us, and he also came out alive. Furthermore, it was he who killed Prince Imperial Dragon. Ji Meixian acted as though he was afraid and asked anxiously. It was actually killed by Super Yuan sect leader. Everyone was surprised, because they suspected that it was Chen Shang who did it. When Dragon Emperor heard it, he was enraged, because at that time when he went to Super Yuan Mountain, Super Yuan sect leader said that he did not go, he arranged for clan elders to accompany him. Ji Meixian knew that Super Yuan sect leader would lie, and she admired Chen Shang even more now. This way, Super Yuan sect leader would definitely become the scapegoat. Ji Meixian explained everything in detail, from the moment they set out to the moment the Super Yuan sect leader made his move against the Prince Imperial Dragon. Of course, in order to not be seen through, she also mentioned the matter of Chen Shang becoming Dongfang Lingyun. Three Horns Dragon King. No matter how strong Chen Shang was, he would not be able to kill him. What happened in Chaotic Mountain? Will they clash? Dragon Emperor's face was cold. He walked in front of Ji Meixian and pressed a big hand on the top of Ji Meixian's head. Zhao Yiprofound and Ji Meixian had master-servant contract, and Ji Meixian had master-servant contract as well. They were worried that they would be seen through, but Ji Meixian had already made preparations beforehand so that he could use the divine clothes to hide himself. Dragon Emperor closed his eyes and activated his sacred art. He searched through Ji Meixian's memories and indeed, he saw many things that were exactly as Ji Meixian had said. He had also seen the scene of Chen Shang chopping off Prince Imperial Dragon's arm. Because the time between two worlds were different, when Super Yuan sect leader made his move against Prince Imperial Dragon, the time of death could not be predicted. But no matter what, the Prince Imperial Dragon was dead, and he was still alive. He had even lied about not going to the Chaotic Mountain, he just did not think that Ji Meixian was still alive, otherwise, he would not dare to lie to the Dragon Emperor. Go to Super Yuan Mountain. Dragon Emperor opened his eyes and roared. Ji Meixian had already fainted, but Zhao Yiprofound anxiously went to help her up. She was fine, she was only unconscious for the time being. It was actually not Chen Shang. But what about Chen Shang? Did Chen Shang also die in the Chaotic Mountain? Or did Chen Shang sneak out after entering? Chen Zhang's death was hard to accept for many people, even for these strong warriors to view him as an undying cockroach. Just as they left the Heaven Sacred City, they saw a group of women running outside the city. That is the Demon Empress, and Shui Shenxian, Leng Yulin. Shui Shenxian is Chen Zhang's wife and the white-haired Leng Yulin is Chen Zhang's recognized sister. As long as we capture them, we can force Chen Shang to hand over the Green Dragon Demon Slain broadsword. We might even be able to make Chen Shang appear. A purple-robed elder said, he was from Purple Moon Imperial Land. Seeing the group of people with monstrous power in the sky, the Infernal Queen's face changed drastically. She recognized that most of them were the heavyweights of the traitors. Catch them, Dragon Emperor shouted. Just as LV Qinlian was about to attack, a black light suddenly flashed. Those with good eyes can see that a person was flying over, and used his leg to kick away the powerful experts from the traitor faction. The person who suddenly appeared was none other than the White Tiger. Lu Munger and the others heaved a sigh of relief. They knew that this was Chen Zhang's man, and the bottom of the pit would help them. Originally, the group of women wanted to immediately go to the place Chen Shang talked about, but they found some resources and medicine on the way, which delayed them for a bit. When they arrived at the entrance of the Heaven Sacred City, they met the Dragon Emperor. Before, the Demon Empress had told them that Chen Shang had angered the Dragon Emperor. They did not expect that this Dragon Emperor did not have the slightest demeanor, and actually wanted to use them to threaten Chen Shang. They are all women, yet you guys actually managed to do it. The White Tiger's expression was calm as it looked at the few experts that he had kicked into two. This kick of the White Tiger intimidated those people who came over from Heaven Realm. Even Long Yanjing frowned, he could see that the person in front of him had the same strength as him. Facing an existence like the White Tiger, the experts from the traitor faction did not dare to act recklessly. Although they were furious, they could only watch. Who are you? Dragon Emperor looked down at the White Tiger from high up in the sky, his voice ice cold. The great clan elder of the dragon subduing school. Before this, he might have suppressed his power because he did not dare to reveal himself, but now that he obtained the Dark Rule spiritual bead and used the power of darkness, it would not be seen through at all. In his eyes, this so-called Dragon Emperor was merely a fellow who was killed by him in an instant. To dare call himself the great clan elder of the dragon subduing school in front of the Dragon Emperor, this person was either an idiot or was truly capable. Dragon Emperor and White Tiger looked at each other for the time it took to brew a cup of tea. Dragon Emperor frowned, perspiring profusely. He actually left. Everyone originally thought that the Dragon Emperor would fight with the great clan elder of the dragon subduing school, but after secretly fighting with him, the Dragon Emperor chose to leave. After the Dragon Emperor left, Bai Xing suddenly walked out and said to the White Tiger, "Leave them to me, quickly go find Chen Shang." The White Tiger nodded and turned into a black light before disappearing. Lu Munger and the others had originally wanted to go to the Zilan Mountain Valley, but now that they had met Bai Xing, it was quite a coincidence. Very quickly, the news that the Prince Imperial Dragon was not killed by Chen Shang spread. This was done by the Super Yuan sect leader, and the entire Super Yuan mountain was exterminated. It was said that the Super Yuan sect leader could not even speak, and was directly killed by the Dragon Emperor. Chapter 1099. Only a few people knew that the Prince Imperial Dragon was truly killed by Chen Shang, and Duhai was very clear of this fact. Dragon Emperor and the rest also immediately left the Sacred Dan realm. They heard that Dragon Emperor had even obtained a treasure chest from the Chaotic Mountain's place. The treasure inside was extremely precious, no wonder the Super Yuan sect leader would silence them. At that time, the Super Yuan sect leader also thought that he had killed the Prince Imperial Dragon, so he did not refute her and was directly killed by the Dragon Emperor. Although Chen Shang escaped this calamity, there was no absolute truth in this world. He was still on guard against this matter being exposed, because the Prince Imperial Dragon was eaten by him and the dragon blood. Now, those traders and powerhouses in the Heaven Realm had all given up on DTN, because they really wanted to send their experts to DTN. That place was not their place now, and demons would definitely erupt into a huge war there, so they took Jimexian away. They could only raise the power of the Heaven Realm to an even higher level. When they were able to go to DTN in the future, they would launch an invasion to suppress the local powers of DTN and divide DTN up. 2 months later, Chen Shang had passed through the 6th Nirvana Doom, and every beast statue in his body had 6 pellets of heaven pellets. These were all the rewards he had gained from consuming the little sacred dragon pellet, allowing him to break through in an instant. Chen Shang returned to the cave and took out the 3 treasure chests he got from the Chaotic Mountain. Very quickly, the mountain was destroyed, but Chen Shang continued to curse. I still can't get my hands on them. These broken boxes are way too powerful. Chen Shang looked at the 3 black boxes and felt extremely uncomfortable in his heart. He clearly knew that there were very powerful treasures inside, but he was unable to open them. We can only look for Elder Sister Munger and Warm Moon in the future. I really miss them. I wonder how they are doing now. Chen Shang kept the 3 treasure chests, and then left the ruins. Although he did not sense the power of the Dragon Emperor right now, he was afraid that Jimexian's plan would fail, so he did not dare step into the Sacred Dan realm on the other side to prevent himself from being discovered. When Chen Shang came to a small town, he did not even manage to gather any news about that place. He felt that he would have to stay there for a while before going over to look around. At the same time, he would raise his strength and improve his alchemy grade. After Chen Shang arrived at that small town, he realized that there were not as many alchemists as he had imagined, but their pill refining skills were very high. From the pills that they had displayed, he could tell that there were some pills that were of a higher quality than what he had refined. This also made Su Meiyao extremely excited, because such things rarely happened in Heaven Realm, DTN, and the other side of Sacred Dan Realm. And here, there were many alchemists that were able to do such a thing. As expected, this was a place with an extremely advanced alchemy Dao, and this was merely a small town. Sister Meiyao, Sister Yu, maybe I can help you recover your strength from here. Chen Shang said excitedly. Although these 2 women would definitely leave him after they recovered their strength, that didn't mean they wouldn't meet again in the future. They were originally strong people, so staying in the ring for so long definitely didn't feel good. Once they regained their strength, they would definitely have many things to do. Hee, my good little brother. I've already accepted you as my man. Don't worry, I'll be yours from now on. When Su Meiyao thought about it, she also felt that it was really difficult to part with Chen Shang. If there came a day when she could temporarily leave Chen Zhang's side, it would be very uncomfortable for her. Bai Yu remained silent, but Su Meiyao knew that she had the same feeling. Although Bai Yu didn't have an honest relationship with him like her, it was still impossible for her to not have any feelings for Chen Shang. Furthermore, Chen Shang had helped her a lot, making her relationship with Bai Ziqian better, and pulling her out of the road of no return. When Chen Shang heard about the nearby big cities in this town, he immediately rushed there. He still had to find Bai Ziqian here. This was a very difficult situation, because Bai Ziqian was currently a super fugitive, so he must be hiding things very well. When I was working with her in the past, I had made a dark line that led her to that city and marked it out in some obvious places, guiding her to find you. Only she and I can understand the content of those lines, so you don't have to worry. Bai Yu said. In this real Sacred Dan realm, Chen Shang had 4 things he needed to do. He needed to collect the pellets that would help Su Meiyao and the others recover their strength, search for the pill saint, search for Bai Ziqian, and then raise his own strength. All of these could be done at the same time. Chen Shang came to a city. The city was not considered big, but Chen Shang still left behind secret marks that guided her to a piece of communication jade symbol paper. That jade talisman was bought by a lot of spiritual crystal, allowing Bai Ziqian to contact him. This city was not big, but with the transmission array, Chen Shang could save a lot of time and head to the big cities to leave behind those secret prints, but every time he went to a city, he would need a large amount of spiritual crystal to buy them as well as the teleportation fees. What made him even more depressed was that the medicine stores here did not accept other people's pills, because every pill shop had their own alchemist, and these pills from the alchemist all had their own unique auras. Some people believed that these alchemists were here to buy, because there was no lack of outstanding alchemists. If he were to sell them here, he would only lose out. He might as well sell them to DTN, because he would be able to earn more there. Therefore, Chen Shang did not plan to sell any low-leveled pills or high-leveled herbs here, as they were all very worthless. Therefore, he planned to join a large-scale pill shop. Only by becoming a famous alchemist would he be able to earn more, because he discovered that they were both kinds of pills, but because they had the name of a famous alchemist, they were only worth 1 or 2 times more than others, or maybe even higher. However, there were still many people who bought them, and this was the effect of the brand. Because there was no lack of pills here, they were not famous, and no one would covet them no matter how good the quality was. This phenomenon made it hard for Chen Shang to understand. Why are the same quality, why are the cheaper ones not bought by anyone? Chen Shang arrived at the entrance of a very large pill shop and was in the middle of a queue to sign up for the recruitment. As long as he passed the examination, he would be able to enter and do odd jobs. Chapter 1100. Chen Shang had originally planned to register to work in this large pill shop, but did not expect that because he did not have an alchemist-level jade plate, the other party did not want it. This made him very depressed, so he could only use the last of the spiritual crystals to go to a huge city called Holy City. It was said that it was built on a very tall mountain, and could hold tens of millions of people. This was the only place that could carry out the alchemist's assessment. If Chen Shang wanted to sell his pills at a higher price, he would need to be famous first. Although the pellets here could only be sold for a high price. Only then would people buy them. If it was heaven-level pellets, it would be different, because there were not many of these pellets here, and even if the alchemists that could concoct heaven-level pellets were not famous, but with their strength, Chen Shang understood that many of the famous golden alchemists would at most make some achievements in the area of high-grade ground-level pellets, but refining a heaven-level pellet was not possible. The people in this city all had decent strength. Chen Shang noticed that there were a lot of Nirvana realm people walking on the streets, and there were quite a few immortal ranked people. After some investigation and inquiry, Chen Shang found out that the main force who bought the pellets were at the Nirvana realm. Someone with this kind of strength would be able to walk around safely and earn more spiritual crystals to trade for pellets, raising his own strength. Afterwards, there were some small and medium-sized forces who bought pellets to nurture their disciples. In this place where immortal beast frequently appeared, it was one thing for Nirvana realm warriors to not be able to escape, so it was very dangerous for weak people to earn spar. There is a shortage of medicinal herbs here, but when they are sold to the pill shops, the price is very low and there is no room for bargaining. Almost everyone who has the medicinal herbs in their hands sells them regardless of the quantity they have, because keeping the medicinal herbs fresh is also a very difficult matter. Chen Shang felt that many large pill shops had a powerful force behind them, and these powers had a large amount of medicinal ingredients but would still continue to buy the medicinal ingredients on the market. In this way, they could monopolize the pill shops and make it impossible for the small pill shops to survive. Those gold medal alchemists were probably made up by this group of people. If they wanted to become famous, they would need the help of these large forces, which was why many of the famous alchemists had opened their own pill shops. Almost none of them were able to do so. Spiritual crystal had the same use as spar, but the spiritual crystal had more energy and higher quality. Those large powers required a large number of spiritual crystal, and they were usually used to lay down various large formations, using spiritual crystal as an energy source. Su Meiyao had already said that for the big powers in Heaven Realm, they would need a lot of time to speed up the formation so that they could grow some medicinal ingredients, and in order to guarantee the quality of the medicinal ingredients, they would need to use a lot of big array to nurture them. This required a lot of spiritual crystal, So many big powers tried their best to plunder these resources, ensuring that they could gather more and prevent the spiritual crystal S from getting too many people. In the past, 10 Heavens Supreme Lord was able to support him and cultivate a powerful force, allowing him to conquer the 9 heavens and the 10 earth. Therefore, many of the powerhouses were doing their best to develop their own forces just so that they could grasp more power. They could become the emperors that ruled the 9 heavens and 10 earth. This way, they could gather more resources and further enhance their strength. Looks like if I want to obtain the spiritual crystal as soon as possible, I'll have to sell my good stuff, but these guys are all so unlucky, they definitely won't be willing to pay a high price, it's more like an auction or something. Chen Shang was not willing to suffer a loss, so he would not sell high-grade medicinal ingredients with extremely low prices. Your strength is so weak, if you keep up such a high profile, you will definitely be targeted. I guarantee that you won't be able to sell anything, and there should be people of the same level as Super Yuan sect leader in this city, and there definitely won't be a lack of them. The sacred Dan realm on this side could be said to be a mini version of the heaven realm. Without enough strength, you have stirred up the interests of those forces. Just wait to be dealt with. Su Meiyao said. In a place where immortals were everywhere, Chen Shang could not be reckless. Forget about that. Just by saying that the dragon subduing city DTN had attracted a group of people to surround and attack him, wasn't it because he had smashed someone's rice bowl? If he were to be discovered here by others with the potential to ruin someone else's life, he would definitely be killed. To put it bluntly, it was because he did not have a backer. Power. Chen Shang secretly clenched his teeth. Without strength, he was just a piece of meat that anyone could slice through. If he had the strength of the white tiger, what would he have to be afraid of? He would be able to run rampant like the white tiger, and kill anyone who obstructed him. Chen Shang wandered around, and sold some of the high-quality goblin pellets he had. However, their prices were still suppressed, but it allowed him to have around 10,000 spiritual crystal S. Just as he was walking around randomly, looking for an opportunity, a jade talisman suddenly shook, causing him to be surprised and delighted, because it was the jade talisman that was used to contact Bai Ziqian. In other words, Bai Ziqian found the dark mark he left behind. Who are you? After Chen Shang took out the jade talisman, he immediately heard Bai Ziqian's ice-cold voice. This devil scorpion princess was extremely vigilant. Sister Ziqian, it's me, it's Chen Shang. Chen Shang anxiously replied. It's you, you're actually still alive, and I thought you were beaten up by the Dragon Emperor. Bai Ziqian said with some surprise. You know about me, where are you? Your sister wants to see you. Quote. I once eavesdropped on a few old fellows, so Dragon Emperor wanted to come over to take revenge for his son. They said that you were the one who killed Dragon Emperor's precious son. Even though it had been a long time since Bai Ziqian last saw her, his name had always reached her ears, and she was extremely concerned about Bai Yuyu, so she was very concerned about his safety. The reason why she went to various large cities to look for news about Chen Shang, was because she never thought that Chen Shang would come to this kind of place. I'm in Holy City, hurry, the jade talisman suddenly lost its multicolored light, and Chen Shang scolded this kind of inferior trash. Actually, this was because the distance was too far and too much energy had been gathered, causing the spirit grain in the jade token to be destroyed. After Chen Shang told Bai Yuyu about this, he made him extremely happy. She then had Chen Shang immediately leave a secret pattern in the city and led him to his residence. That way, they would be able to see Bai Ziqian very soon. Chen Shang rented a small house in a place where many poor people lived, and then waited for Bai Ziqian inside. He didn't expect that the giants would also care so much about him. If that was the case, he had to keep a low profile and not be targeted.